Take opportunity, a good chance or occasion to advance oneself. Against Michigan State, Coach Hayden Fry and his Iowa Hawkeyes did just that. With time running out, the Hawkeyes needed a touchdown. Chuck Long, with a beautiful fake, took the bootleg into the end zone for the winning touchdown. And then who will forget Rob Houtland against Michigan? In the closing seconds, he grabbed the opportunity of a lifetime and won the game for the Hawkeyes. Adversity can be a little bit tougher on the mind and on the body. Ask Keith Byers of Ohio State. A Heisman Trophy candidate when the season began, Byers can only pray he'll get another chance in the sun. Ask Earl Bruce, and he will tell you that adversity has toughened the Buckeyes. On 4th and 1, Minnesota expected a run, but Jim Carsados came up with a touchdown pass. And finally, destiny. Well, destiny's the key word for today. Iowa and Ohio State, and only one will be touched by destiny's hand. And now one of those traditions that makes football so very special here in Columbus, Ohio. The drum major, Greg Iyer, moving out to the front of the Buckeye marching band as the giant horseshoe starts to come alive. You know, amongst the bands throughout the Midwest, Michigan certainly throughout the years has been rated at the very top. But this band at Ohio State takes a backseat to no one. And they really come alive when they play the Buckeye Battle Cry. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger. The band is certainly ready. We're about to find out if Ohio State and Iowa are ready. The Hawkeyes of Iowa have been the top-ranked team in the nation for the last 5 weeks. Now they will try to extend that mark to 8-0, but they come to a stadium where the home team, Ohio State, has not lost a game in its last 19 outings. The key question regarding Ohio State is the physical condition of number 41, Keith Byers. He broke the foot before the season began. 2 weeks ago, he came back, but then he re-injured the foot last Saturday against Minnesota. Now the question, I ask Earl Bruce, will Keith Byers play this afternoon?
Well, he's not going to play today, Brent. He hasn't practiced all week. He hasn't been able to run, and obviously he wouldn't be prepared to play. We're going to go with Vince Workman and John Woolridge.
The agony of a superstar who must wait for another day. But he led the team out for the pregame warm-ups. We'll go to Jim Nantz now against the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Buckeyes will kick off. That will be Rich Spangler, who will tee the ball up at the 40-yard line. They're talking to an official. And along with the referee, Gil Marchman, Ed Hassel is the umpire today, and Tom Barnes is the head linesman. The line judge is Tom Hoffman. The field judge is Otto Poles. The side judge, Dick Honig. And the back judge is Mike Nevins. There, the forecast, rain. And we play on a carpet here in Columbus, Ohio. Both of these teams are accustomed to playing in the rain. In fact, yesterday at practice, Ohio State had quarterback Jim Carsados dip a football in a bucket of water and throw for about 10 minutes. They also practiced snaps so that the center could get the feel for the ball. Iowa, of course, played in the Freedom Bowl when it was raining hard in Anaheim, California last year, and Long threw 6 touchdowns in that game, too. Quinn Early and Ronnie Harmon are back deep for the Hawkeyes. And we are underway. A short kickoff. Harmon at the 9, 15. And stopped before he could get to the 20, Coach Parsegan.
One of the interesting things, Ohio State elected to kick into the wind. The wind is coming from the south, and they're defending a goal that gives Iowa the advantage in this first period.
And they will try to take advantage of it, Coach, with Chuck Long at quarterback. And behind him will be a fullback, David Hudson, who took over a couple weeks ago. Ronnie Harmon, he can catch passes, too, coming out of the backfield. Scott Helverson and Bill Happel, 2 outstanding control receivers. Mike Flagg, 6'6", 244. So they come up on first down with a slot left. Halverson is slotted to the left. Apple outside, one setback, 3 wide receivers. Long will put it up. Receivers are covered, almost intercepted. Chris Spielman dropped off as a linebacker, and he felt that he should have had the ball right away.
He certainly dropped the ball. Long has a lot of time to throw this football. I thought he was going to run right here. He had plenty of daylight. Threw the ball, a bad decision here. Spielman drops the football.
So the linebackers, Chris Spielman and Pepper Johnson, will be tested frequently today if Long attempts to throw underneath. And Spielman dropped off alertly into pass coverage. Now it is 2nd and 10. Robert Smith is flanked out to the right. One setback. Here comes Harmon. Daylight on the left side, and he gets out to the 28-yard line where Steve Hill, the nickelback, who is in the game, brings him down close to a first down. Big hole there, Era.
And a very good call by the part of Hayden Fry and the Iowa team.
Well, his offensive line is big, and they are now experienced. Croston, 6'5", 275. Next to him, Humphrey, 6'3", 265. Mark Sendlinger, the center, 6'2", 255. Bob Cratchit, 6'4", 270. And Mike Haight, 6'4", 275. This is a fine offensive line. Here's the I formation for the first time. Halverson is in motion, and they come to Harmon again. Trying to get the first down, the Buckeyes force him out of bounds, and it appeared as though they stopped him short of that first down. A big defensive effort led by Chris Spielman again.
Very good start for the Buckeyes defensively. That's where they've been vulnerable.
Castrobala will punt it for the Hawkeyes. So it's 3 downs and out. Mike Lanise, the deep back. The sure-handed receiver signals for the fair catch. Jim Carsados and the Buckeyes will put it in play right there at the 30-yard line for them. So here's a quarterback you probably have not seen too much of, but he could be underrated, and he's only a junior. Now behind him is a former tailback, George Cooper. And the starting tailback today is the freshman, Vince Workman. Now his wide receivers, the control man, Mike Lanise, and the game breaker, Chris Carter. The tight end, Ed Taggart, scored that big touchdown. And, of course, all eyes are now focused on Vince Workman, the freshman tailback who must go in place of the injured superstar, Keith Byers. Carsados to pitch it on first down. Over the middle, Lanise has got it with a great catch. The ball was thrown high there at midfield.
Brent, I told you that he can throw that football. Carsados puts the ball right there. Lanise makes a great catch right over the center here. Watch Lanise. Has probably the best hands on the Ohio State Buckeye team, and they've picked up a first down. Good start for the Buckeyes.
Both teams, Era, started with a pass on first down, but Carsados was a little more accurate than Long was. So after that gain, ball is spotted at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10. And again, Carsados said, no, it was that inside handoff to Cooper. Faking the pass, the old shovel pass play that they have worked several times this year.
Well executed by Carsados, too. He does a good job. Watch the quarterback. He sprints out to his left as if he's going to go outside the corner. Cooper will slip right underneath. Little shovel pass inside. Cooper, 44, has the ball right there. Picks up about 5 yards.
And Rory Graves, the left tackle, the veteran from Decatur, Georgia, blew open a hole there for George Carter. He held up his man at the line of scrimmage long enough for it to be successful. Now it is 2nd down for Ohio State. Off a fake, Carsados with time. He's got Lanise. First down inside the 30. Larry Station dropping back. The All American linebacker in Devon Mitchell, 21, bringing down, but it's a gain of 21. Lanise is getting wide open, Era.
Here he is. There's no coverage between Carsados and Lanise. The coverage is all deep, and Carsados has an open throw right here, right to Lanise. You can see no linebackers in between. They're really executing exceptionally well.
The ball is at the Iowa 27-yard line. Ohio State moving on its first possession. Carsados again on first down will throw it. He had time. Carter, great catch down at the 10-yard line. Oh, what a show Jimmy Carsados is putting on here. A 17-yard gain.
This is really some passing exhibition here by Carsados. Drops back. You'll watch coming from your right to your left. Chris Carter, another great catch. They have in Lanise and Carter two of the best in the country.
It's that offensive line from left to right. Rory Graves, Jeff Uhlenhake, Bob Maggs, Jimmy Gilmore, and Larry Cotterman, who's only a freshman. And they are giving him time. Now, Carsados is 4 for 4 for 60 yards. John Woolridge checks in at tailback. They split the backs. His first appearance. They fake Cooper. Carsados deflected incomplete. And that time, Nate Freer deflected a pass intended for Carter.
Better coverage that time. They were in man-to-man with a sheltering zone behind it, and they did a good job.
So the men down in the trenches, and how often through the years have we heard about the group at Ohio State? Jeff Uhlenhake, who did such a fine job against Minnesota. Maggs, the veteran center. Jim Gilmore out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then the freshman, Larry Cotterman. Now it is 2nd and goal for the Buckeyes. Workman is back at tailback. On a delay, they try to turn him loose, and big Jeff Drost, number 76, came in there and stormed him down.
Play by Richard Pryor. And number 76.
Drost is a big fella on the left side. Number 76 had 6 sacks last week against Northwestern. You can come from the right. He's getting help, of course, from Richard Pryor, number 99.
So a 2-yard loss. The ball is back near the 12. On 3rd down, you would certainly expect a pass here. Lanise goes into motion. They put pressure on the left side. Carsados looks in that direction, nails incomplete. And again, Jay Norvell, number 45, coming over. Chris Carter was the intended target, and again, the Hawkeyes were there.
That was a great job by Jay Norvell. He has 5 interceptions for the year. Watch him come from the right to the left. It looks like Carsados has got a touchdown. The ball's a little bit low. Right there, Norvell makes contact, knocks the ball loose, and it's going to force a field goal attempt by the Buckeyes.
It'll be a 28-yard attempt by Rich Spangler. This the first series by the Buckeyes. For Iowa, it was 3 downs and punt. But Iowa has to be pleased by its defensive performance when Ohio State was threatening. Spangler's kick is good. Ohio State strikes first here in Columbus. They get a field goal. His players in just to walk around this stadium. I asked him why he did that with the Hawkeyes.
Ohio State scoring drive, 58 yards.
I brought the youngsters in to pay our respects to all of the people that have been buried here.
Field goal by
And Hayden Fry can include himself. Last year when he was buried here, he's trying to avoid that rite of passage here this afternoon. And Era, he has to be pleased that he only yielded a field goal.
I think that's a very good point because the Buckeyes stormed down the field with their passing game. We got some good recovery by the defensive secondary on critical plays there on 2nd and 3rd down. Norvell made a great play. And, of course, Rich Spangler kicked the field goal to put the Buckeyes ahead. Instead of having 7, they've got 3.
Spangler will kick it off for the 2nd time. Win early, and Ronnie Harmon are set back there. They're standing at the 2-yard line, and so Era, again, they will try to kick it off into the wind, and Chuck Long will have it at his back coming out. And that wind keeps the kickoff out of the end zone. Harmon at the 10, 15, and again the Buckeyes stop him short of the 20. Mike Key, number 30, led the way on that special team. And, of course, this is the start of a big weekend of football action on CBS. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about what a difference a year makes for Eric Dickerson and Dan Marino on the NFL Today. The Bears-Packers, the grudge match, and we'll have John Madden live. He'll be covering the New York Giants. And then, of course, the big game, the Bears against the Packers. Tampa Bay will play the Giants. Detroit, Minnesota, Washington, Atlanta. And then later today, those 2 games. Coming up tomorrow on CBS. On 1st down, they run the tailback Harmon, and he gets out to the 22-yard line before he is brought down. Let's meet this Ohio State defense right now. Here is Fred Ritter. He's 6'2", 244, and next to him, Darrell Lee goes 6'3", 258. Eric Kummerow is called the Stork because he resembles Ted Hendricks. Chris Spielman, you've seen how he plays already today. Larry Kolick, he plays nose guard much of the time. The defensive captain is Pepper Johnson from Detroit, and Byron Lee is having a fine year. This is now second down and about 5. Harmon can't get outside the defense. Darrell Lee, 95, was there to shut him off. Let's take a look at the rest of that defense, and here are the young men who will be tested. And William White back there at the corner. He intercepted a ball last week. Greg Rogan, of course, watching Happel and Helverson. Sonny Gordon is the rover back, and Terry White, the big play defensive back. As Rich Spangler has given that group a 3-point lead right now, and Mike Flagg is the injured player. He is down at the 24-yard line. The Hawkeyes tied in, so we would anticipate Craig Clark, his backup, coming into the game. And Arrow, the Ohio State defense looks very aggressive here this afternoon.
It appears to me that they're deploying to stop Long. As you know, Michigan wanted to stop Harmon, and now it appears to me that Ohio State wants to stop Long. They're deployed in a 4-3 and getting many more linebackers into the ball game.
All right, we're going to take a break. Ohio State leads it 3-0. We'll be right back. Is 3rd and 1 for Iowa. The Hawkeyes trail by a field goal. Here comes the power eye with both Hudson and Bush. They send Bush in motion. They run away from it. Harmon's got the first down.
Brent, I think that the Ohio State defense is deployed in such a way that it's going to encourage Iowa to run the football. They've got a lot of people in there to try to stop Long. I don't know whether they can do it or not, but there's going to be some off-tackle holes open as well as some traps.
Here we are, 9:46 left in the first quarter. Long and Iowa without a single yard passing and already 60 passing yards for the Buckeyes. Chuck Long comes up and eyes that defense on first down. Helverson comes in motion. Happel is to the right. Long looks back and drops the ball off to Hudson. And the fullback gets out close to another first down. So while they spot the ball, let's take this occasion to get into New York and an update from Pat Hayden. Pat.
Brent, Oklahoma State is trying to keep its Big 8 hopes alive. Here, Thurman Thomas follows a great block by his left guard. 60 yards later, he goes in for his second touchdown of the day. Oklahoma State leads 14-3 in the third quarter. Let's go back to Brent Nero.
Oh, there are some great running backs in the country, aren't there? And what a shame that one of them, Keith Byers, unable to play here this afternoon. Now it's the power eye look. It is second and about a half yard. This time they run behind the motion man, and Harmon picked his spot and just got the first down before William White came up to tackle it.
I think you're going to see from Iowa some screens and draws and traps to set up their passing. Of course, here they are with a little run. See Bush, number 35, with the motion lead, comes down and blocks. Look at Harmon read the daylight. It was designed off tackle. He comes on a little bit wider where the daylight is.
Wide receiver Quinn Early checks in, and they take the fullback out of this particular formation. This is the formation they put in for Ohio State. 3 wide receivers and only Harmon the setback. They run Harmon. He's cut off, and that was Ritter who wouldn't let him through the hole, and then Eric Kummerow made the tackle. But his original hole was clogged up, and he tried to go outside.
Well, he's done that historically for the last 2 years. He'll read it and then bounce to the outside. But that time, Kummerow, who I think is an outstanding football player, he's 6'6", 237, has good activity, and did a nice job on it. And as you pointed out, Ritter would not allow him to come off tackle.
2nd and 9 now. Split backs being shown by the Hawkeyes. And Long will throw, looking for his first completion. Deflected, incomplete. Now, last year, Chuck Long committed some costly mistakes, and here today he starts cold against Ohio State.
Yeah, you know, Kolick last year was the one that picked Long off and returned it for a touchdown. He had his hands on that one, and he had his hands on the first series. This guy must know where Long's going to throw the football.
One of those interceptions, and they scored 3 times in 72 seconds last year. And, of course, what a game Keith Byers had. He ran for a couple of touchdowns, caught a pass for one, and then threw for a fourth as Kolick and the defense await. bucolic and unselfish linebacker who now plays as a down lineman. Long off a play fake. Great time from his offensive line. Down the sideline, incomplete. They tried to isolate Ronnie Harmon, and he was covered all the way that time. An outside linebacker, number 82, Byron Lee, went with him.
It's interesting that they would match up Lee against Harmon, but that's what happened. Here you see Harmon, Long trying to lay it in there. He overthrew him just a little bit. If he'd have put the ball on the money that time, and he normally is accurate, Harmon might have been able to get that pass.
But he only had, if at best, a half a step on a slower lineman. So Byron Lee did a good job. They put a punt block on. Iowa picks it up. Now Lanise will let this one bounce toward the end zone and go on in for a touchback. And the Buckeyes will take over on the 20 after that 56-yard punt on into the end zone. So if you've just joined us, we've got 7:24 to go. It's Iowa and Ohio State. First quarter, Buckeyes are up by a field goal. In Houston, they'll present the Lombardi Award. First down, Cooper, the fullback, right straight ahead for the Buckeyes, and Hap Peterson, the nose guard, on him that time. Let's take a look at this Iowa defensive line, because the outside ends, like Richard Pryor, have had a lot of pressure on them this year, and they will have to show improvement. Jeff Drost is a real fine tackle. Hap Peterson, as good a nose guard as there is anywhere in the Big Ten. John Breeze, 6'4", 255, and George Millette, now a starter, 6 foot 222. And we get an update on that shocker. But Penn State has now regained the lead, 16-12 in the fourth. John Woolridge is the setback behind Carsados. Carsados goes deep, and it's complete to Carter. First down at the 40. Era, you like Carsados?
I thought last week I was really impressed with him. It was the first time I had seen him. And this first quarter has been sensational for him. Watch him really deliver the ball. You see Chris Carter right here throws over the defender and in front of the deep defender and does a great job. That's Creer that was in front of him. Chris Carter's got a 36-inch vertical leap.
Carter goes out after that completion, and Doug Smith, 49, replaces him. And the freshman Vince Workman is now the tailback. So Ohio State doing a lot of situation substituting. Movement down there, and the two lines accusing one another. He did it. No, ref, they did it over there. He pulled me off. Era, you see any movement there?
Watch the shoulder center right here. See if he moves. He humps up. Let's see whether or not they call it on him. He did move. The center mags did move. It could have drawn him offside.
But that penalty is going to be marched off against the Hawkeyes. And Era, you would say that the center pulled him off, I judge.
It sure looks that way, and I don't know how they missed a 6'5", 286-pound guy.
Dead ball foul.
Dead ball foul. Enforcement on the defense.
So it'll be 1st and 5 as we take still another look at Maggs. Did he indeed draw Station and Hap Peterson off? Now, you see, Peterson's a good one.
Now, you see, Peterson did move, I think. I think Maggs was responding. I correct that. He responded to Peterson.
I agree. I think it was a good call. Workman starting outside. Well, that's one thing that we have that they don't have on the field. That's the second look.
That's exactly right. We could not see that from the ground view, but we saw it from the upper view.
Let's take a look at the rest of this defense out there. We saw Larry Station showing blitz a moment ago. He's also an honors student. George Davis, he plays alongside Station, good inside linebacker. The secondary, Ken Sims, made that great tackle against Michigan. Nate Creer, he's out of Brooklyn. Jay Norvell, the leading interceptor on this Hawkeye team, and Devon Mitchell, who was a high school teammate of Nate Creer's, number 21. It'll be 2nd and 3. 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Ohio State leading Iowa 3-0. Tight end in motion, fake to the fullback. Carsados to Carter. Carter's free, but goes down at the 20-yard line. Devon Mitchell wrestles him down. Now watch Carsados make this fake as he comes back. He goes to the inside man brilliantly. That slows up the linebacker a step. Then he comes out, and here comes Chris Carter. And he's got it now. Watch Devon Mitchell, 21. He is the last man with a shot to bring him down, or it would have been a touchdown. A 30-yard gain, and now Ohio State is on the move again.
Brent, you're exactly right. That fake held the linebackers, and Chris Carter had no one between himself and the ball.
Lanise comes in motion, and here comes the tailback Workman, and the freshman gets to the 16, and Richard Pryor, 99, hauls him down there.
Richard Pryor. Gain of 6.
So the Hawkeyes going to work, and this could be one of those Saturdays. Penn State was in trouble. Now we get word that Oklahoma is losing, but of course that's real early in college football. It is 2nd down and 4. And here comes Cooper. And he is short of the first down. The middle of that Hawkeye defense was not fooled that time, Errol.
Well, Peterson is really a strong football player. He's really intense, gives you 110% all the time. Outstanding player. But what I'm really impressed by is the linebackers are being frozen by Carsata stakes on the passing downs. This could be a run-action pass situation. 3rd down and about 2 yards to go. Let's see how Hayden Fry decides to deploy defensively.
So far, this has been a superb offensive game plan by the Buckeyes. But they need touchdowns and not field goals. Fake to Cooper. There's time by Carsatos out of the end zone. Overthrew the intended receiver was Woolridge, who circled out of the backfield.
Ohio had decided to go to their goal line defense, man-to-man coverage, and they had excellent coverage on all the receivers. Even though Carsatos had plenty of time to throw the ball, there was no one really open.
Era, you remember at that meeting yesterday, Coach Bruce hitched up his trousers and said, we got to have touchdowns and not field goals if we're going to beat this offensive juggernaut.
And also in this quarter, they've been able to maintain a reasonable degree of the possession time, which is very important.
Now it is 4th and 2. And the 31-yard attempt by Rich Spangler is on its way, and he is missed for the first time. Rich Spangler is no longer perfect for the Buckeyes, and the Hawkeyes get another lift. And Earl Bruce saying to him, we need those. And yes, you do. No doubt about that, Coach Bruce. We'll be right back. Right now, it's Chuck Long and the Hawkeyes. Here is Hudson trying to come around, and Larry Kolick hit him right there at the 20, and he couldn't get any place else. Well, Errol, let's analyze what has befallen the Hawkeyes here with regard to that passing game so far.
Well, they have not had good field position for one thing. The other thing that's really hurt them, of course, is the Buckeye passing game. They have maintained, look at the passing yardage. Ohio State 108 to 9 yards per hour.
You would expect Hayden to put it up right here. 2nd and 9, and he does. Straight drop back. Long has time, throws underneath the coverage that time. Now that's where Ohio State was vulnerable against Purdue, and there is Chris Spielman. You know, when you think about Chris Spielman, I'm reminded of Randy Gradishar. Spielman, 36, is only a sophomore, but keep an eye on him in the next 2 years. He's going to turn out to be a great linebacker. He is out of one of the cradles, Massillon, Ohio, 6'2", 224.
Extremely intense, really an intense football player.
It is now 3rd and 4. This a guessing situation when you've got a Ronnie Harmon. Long wanting a little quiet. He won't get it in Columbus. He'll put it up. Time. He overthrew him. Intercepted. And it falls down to the ground. Let's see how they rule it right there. The ball will be spotted at the 29-yard line. And there is Terry White, their big play man in that secondary. Coming up with the game's first turnover, and Chuck Long is just off.
He really is. Take another look at it. The tight end, 49, is Greg Clark. Checks, and the ball is just thrown beyond him and right into Spielman's hands right there. He manages to wrestle it away. Another view from the end zone.
Now, let's take a look at what happens to Spielman after the ball winds up in his hands. Clark whacks him down to the ground. 70 gets a hand on it. The ball is fumbled, and Terry White recovers the fumble. giving the Buckeyes the first down right there. And they run the freshman, Workman, but there is a penalty flag down.
Looked to me like Ohio State was in motion. The ball was snapped late, and I think there'll be a 5-yard penalty assessed to the Buckeyes.
I said that Spielman may someday be a Randy Gradishar. Someday may have arrived early.
Dead ball foul, illegal procedure.
Well, so far, I think that the Buckeyes have done an excellent job defensively. They've been vulnerable to the pass. They gave up almost 500 yards. Here.
Dead ball foul, illegal procedure on the offense.
Michigan State over Minnesota. Minnesota was playing without their fine quarterback, Foggy, this afternoon. He was injured late in that Ohio State game. First and 15 for Carsados. They've been throwing on first down, but not this time. They run that pitch sweep with Workman, and the Hawkeyes are ready. They cut it off quickly. Devon Mitchell coming up from that free safety spot. Now, Devon Mitchell is the player that Carsados will read when he pulls out. I'm sure our director, Joe Assetti, will give you, as the game goes on, an in-zone shot showing you how Carsados looks quickly at Mitchell. That's the defensive read that he has here this afternoon. Carsados now coming up in a passing situation. He is 2nd and 11. Mitchell is the man who will disguise the coverages. Carsados looks at the linebackers, but the one he wants is 21. Now they're changing. He looks quickly at Mitchell. Now he's got his eye on him, and he's hit as he releases, and it's intercepted right back. And that's the nickelback, Rick Schmidt, who's got it for the Hawkeyes.
It was the first time that Carsados has been pressured when he went back to throw. And it forced a bad throw and an interception by, of course, as you pointed out, Rick Schmidt. You can see here, it appears he's going to get some time, but just as he gets ready to throw the ball, right there, he gets the contact, the ball is overthrown. There was no receivers open anywhere anyway, Brent.
One of the keys to stopping any passing game is to get pressure on the quarterback. In fact, it's the best way. And for one of the few times this afternoon, Jeff Drost and the rest of that Hawkeye line start coming through, and they reduce the minutes that Carsados has to throw the ball. From the power eye, it's Harmon up over the top and out to the 6-yard line. Here in a situation like this, what is the offensive coach thinking? What Hayden Fry takes over inside the 5-yard line. What does he want to do right now?
I think he'll be careful up until the 3rd down. Then I think he won't be afraid to throw a big, deep bomb, because if it's intercepted, it'll be like a punt. It's a good time to do it. But we'll see whether this is a long way to go for a touchdown. I'm talking about possession-wise. Let's see whether or not. I would be conservative myself in this stage.
On 2nd down, it was conservative. Harmon trying to spin free. Brought down about the 9-yard line. Darrell Lee and Eric Kummerow, number 14 and 95, teaming up. Chuck Long glancing at the big board here in Columbus. It shows him that he has 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the first quarter.
He's got about 3 yards to go for a first down, or 4, I guess.
He's waiting for the play to come in from the sideline. Quinn Early right behind him, number 1, brings it into the huddle.
This would be a good place to go for the bomb, I think. Go for the home run.
Well, Early's a speedster. On runs the draw. Harmon eludes one tackler, but can only get to the 5.
Oh, the Buckeyes are really swarming. Defensive response is excellent. Folks, how'd you like to be Ronnie Harmon, number 31 on this little draw play? Looks like he might have a little daylight. Watch him make a nice little move. Looks like he might have something going, and then boom, watch the Buckeyes come in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. No chance.
You're seeing why Ohio State's unbeaten in 19 straight home games. Castrobala to punt it. Under pressure, it's blocked out of the end zone for a safety. Sonny Gordon, number 7, coming through for the Buckeyes. The heat is on in Columbus, Ohio.
You know, Brent, the other 2 points that Iowa had, the Buckeyes came very close to it.
Now Castrobala, a left-footed punter. So watch from the right-hand side on the screen. Here comes Gordon. He's not picked up. He's got a shot at him, and he's all over it. It goes out of the end zone. It's a safety. It's a 5-0 Buckeye lead.
When you were growing up, you learned you were...
Next to the university president. Two seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Iowa's had lousy field position in this first quarter. I think the farthest they got was the 44-yard line. The rest of the time, they're back around their own 20, and of course, that block kick situation back around the 5.
And there's the special welcome to Neil Pilson. Now, because it was a safety, they will kick it from the 20-yard line. And there's the man who blocked that punt. You know, Arrow, with that field goal and safety, Iowa has to be shell-shocked, giving up 5 points in the first quarter of a football game.
Well, you keep in mind, though, 1 touchdown, and they're ahead. I mean,
Everett Ross at the 30, 35. As time runs out in the first quarter. And the key play in the first quarter was Sonny Gordon, the rover back. He was set up on the left side of the rush. He came in on Castrobala, who took a little bit too much time in getting rid of it, knocking it out of the end zone for the 2-point safety. And the defensive captain, Pepper Johnson, led the cheers on the sideline. The Buckeyes had gone up by 5, and we'll return after this commercial break and a word from your local station. Ohio end zone for the 2-point safety. And the defensive captain, Pepper Johnson, led the cheers on the sideline. The Buckeyes had gone up by 5, and we'll return after this commercial break and a word from your local station. Ohio, I'm Brent Musburger along with Era Parsigan. We start quarter number 2, Era, and the Buckeyes lead it by 5. And after the safety, they have a 1st and 10. The ball is at the 33. Carsados pitches to Workman, the freshman. Oh, a great tackle that time by Norvell, who came up from the secondary.
Oh, he really did. What a job Norvell did. Supported very quickly.
How about the numbers in the first quarter, Errol?
Well, the biggest surprise to me is the yards passing. 108 for Ohio State and 14 for Long and Iowa. But, of course, that's just 1 quarter. Never count Chuck Long out. We've seen him operate before. But an excellent quarter for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Second down and 13, and Barry Walker appears in the backfield, comes in motion 43. They run away with it. Workman, who was tripped up, got to the 37. George Millette tripped him up, and then Norvell sealed him up. Well, we've got an opportunity here. Let's go back to New York. Here's Jim Nance on an update. Jimmy? Well, Brett, Big Ten year for quarterbacks this is, and now we're watching Jim Carsados call signals for the Buckeyes, and he's going to put it up. Going long down the right sideline. Lanise breaks free a little bit late. He was held up over there and couldn't get free. And that was Ken Sims, the defensive back, who did a good job of staying in front of Lanise and wouldn't allow him to spring free on this play. Now, take a look at what happened to Lanise here. Eric, did he just stop?
He appeared to stop over on the sideline. Watch here. Sims, number 9, is covering. He turns. Oh, he faked him and ran by him. What he did was he got by Sims, but Carsados overthrew the ball. He gave him a little fake there is what he did, and Sims brought the package because he did get by him.
Now it is Tom Tupa's turn to punt. He is the backup quarterback here at Ohio State also, and he is a marvelous punter. Right-footed, penalty flags down all over the place.
Wow.
And it'll be whistled dead right now. And they have put Ronnie Harmon and Bill Happel, both of them, back to return this punt. And I guess with Harmon back there to return, Hayden Fry is looking for a big play at this moment.
He certainly is. He'd like to get better field position if he possibly can. But Tupa can really kick the football.
Ohio penalty, dead ball foul, illegal procedure.
We get word on Penn State era that there's less than 2 minutes to go right now, and the Nittany Lions still lead Boston College 16-12. Of course, BC had been ahead in that game.
Well,
good one.
They've won more ball games by 2 and 3 points. It's amazing. It's a tribute to Joe Paterno and the Penn State team for coming back after last year.
All right, now Tom Tupa out of Brecksville, Ohio. 6'5", 212-pound sophomore. We'll try it over again. After that penalty was assessed against the Buckeyes, he'll hit it at about the 20-yard line. High into the air, Happel at the 16, at the 20. And he has run out of bounds. And again, it was number 7. What an afternoon Sonny Gordon is having for the Buckeyes. Now our Toyota Leadership Award goes weekly to a team member who's been singled out by the athletic department and faculty advisor for his team contributions, grades, and citizenship. Today's winners are Jim Gilmore of Ohio State and Rob Houtland of Iowa. And Toyota will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund. 1st and 10 now, Coach, for Chuck Long, and we haven't seen the Hawkeye attack stop quite like this.
Let's see if they figured something out here while they're on the sideline.
Here's Harmon up the middle.
Ronnie Harmon.
Little cutback. Halloween definitely not over yet in Columbus, I can tell that.
Darrell Lee, the left tackle, did a beautiful job of coming off of his block and spinning back. Otherwise, Harmon would have had much more yardage. Local boy from Columbus, Ohio.
He's 2nd and 3. On the pass play to the sideline, complete to Happel. It's a 1st down. William White was the cornerback working on it. Now that's the Chuck Long we're familiar with, but I think Happel may have been shaken up on the far sideline when he went down over there.
He's been a great receiver. You're exactly right, Brent. They have run this pass play an out pattern right here. See, Cumro 14 was blocked right there on Happel. Can't tell whether, I hope Happel's not hurt. Very simple pattern. He reads the coverage. You can see the cushion on him. He has plenty of time. Sonny Gordon 7 tries to get in front. And William White 37 is too deep. And of course, that's the long, as you pointed out, that we have seen in the previous 2 games that we did.
Long is back again on 1st down. Throws underneath. And it is caught there by Harmon. Chris Spielman again on the coverage. And we've got a final score, and Penn State pulls it out, so they stay unbeaten. And now they will retire and keep an eye on this game to see what will happen to the Iowa Hawkeyes, who trail by 5 points. It's a field goal and a safety right now. We're in the 2nd quarter here in Columbus. The Buckeyes also missed a field goal in the 1st quarter. 2nd down and 3. The fullback, Hudson, splendid run. Got off a would-be tackler that time, and Darrell Lee finally brought him down close to a 1st down here for the Hawks.
Well, vintage Iowa now. You saw the out pattern to Happel, then a little screen pass out to Harmon. Hudson is a change-up right in the middle. This is what they'll do. Looks like they have gotten together at the halftime and done a good job of determining what the defense of Ohio is. Let's see if they can sustain it.
Helberson coming out to the right, and Quinn Early goes to the left. Long will throw it. Has plenty of time. Fakes going underneath. Now he waits. Complete. Went to his tight end, Mike Flagg, that time.
Brent, what the Buckeyes wanted to do, they want to keep Long inside the pocket. He had an awful lot of time to throw the football, but they did keep him in there. But you just can't give him that much time. He'll find an open receiver.
Era Long does not seem as certain to me as he normally is. He is not comfortable with this game right now. He's 5 of 9, 39 yards and 1 interception. In the past, when we've watched him, he seemed to really have an idea when he'd look off a receiver and come back, and I think he's hesitating a little bit here. I don't know whether it's the defense that is confusing him and he's not sure of the coverages. But Chuck Long is not into the rhythm of this game yet.
Well, he didn't have a good first quarter. He had one interception that could have been 3. But this drive now, I think he's getting his confidence back, and I think they got an idea what they might be able to do. But Ohio State is really camouflaging their coverages.
Well, this is 2nd and short. And the Hawkeyes will take a free one and throw. Going long to Robert Smith. Incomplete. And it was William White on the coverage, number 37.
But he put the ball right there. Long had the ball right in Smith's hands. From my vantage point here, it appeared that he dropped the ball. Again, they're putting a 4-man rush on this time. You see 33 Golick going. Now watch Long and Smith. Watch where this ball hits. Beyond it, look at that, right there. Maybe William White got his hand in there. It's hard to tell from this point.
Now they can come back and go short yardage with Fred Bush set in front of Harmon. They've got a 3rd and about a half yard. Fake bootleg. Long comes around. And he just did get it if they give him a first down. I mean to tell you that Pepper Johnson, Greg Rogan, they came over there and said, no more, Mr. Quarterback.
This is the same play that we saw in the Michigan State game and Michigan. In the Michigan State game, it was away from the flow. This one is into the flow. Fakes the ball to Harmon. There's Cumero 14 that went for the dive, but look at the 2 defenders, Pepper Johnson coming in along with Lee.
So they're going to come to the far side and measure this. Chuck Long watching as the sticks are put down right there. Long telling the bench that he's got it. And so now Hayden Fry will be working with a 1st and 10. The ball is down at the Ohio State 42-yard line.
And the deepest penetration for the Hawkeyes.
You know, Bill Happel, who was shaken up on that one completion, has not come back, and he suffered an injured shoulder. He's over there on the Hawkeye sideline being tended to right now. On first down, Long wants to set the screen. Harmon comes back the other way. And he is run down by Rogan. Number 29 stayed right with Harmon that time, and they wouldn't let him get around the corner. Now, Happel is going to try it, Era. He's back on the field, but he is definitely trying to get a little more movement in that left shoulder. Number 40 of the Hawkeyes back in there at wide receiver. He's the control man. It was an injury to the left shoulder when he went out of bounds. He'll go up to the top now on the left side. David Hudson is the lone setback. It's a throwing formation. On the move, Long's dangerous from this. And it is picked off. Intercepted by White. William White has intercepted. And Long now has thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half.
Great defensive coverage. And that's the kind of thing that has to shake up Chuck Long, because he thought he had the receiver. He has been so accurate in the earlier games, and this time he finds a Buckeyes all over his receivers. This is also what Ohio State did not want to happen, to have Long flushed out, because he completes 77% of his passes when he's outside the pocket. But look at here, as William White, 37, reaches in and intercepts the ball from Halverson, number 87.
So William White, who intercepted one last week against Minnesota that led to a big touchdown, comes up with another one here. And we've got a timeout in Columbus. Quarterback in football goes through the frustrations facing Chuck Long, who is wearing the headset and talking to head coach Hayden Fry. But it's what you do with the rest of the game now that matters.
Exactly, and I'm sure that his confidence has been shaken some. He has had a couple of interceptions. In the past, he was flushed out. He's always done very well when he gets outside of the pocket. There's good response on the part of that secondary of the Buckeyes.
And a lot of pressure on those youngsters, and they're responding. They'll run the fullback, Big Cooper, right straight ahead. He's a converted tailback, number 44 is. And so he's not as good a blocker as you've seen in the past here in these Ohio State backfield combinations where they always had the bulldozing fullback. But he is a load when he comes at you.
6'2" or 6'3", 245 pounds.
They got their own refrigerator, and he plays back there regularly.
It says 238 on the screen there. But when I talk
You
to
know
him,
better.
I know. I talked to him and asked him.
That's the program weight,
Yeah.
folks. Now they run Woolridge. Daylight breaks free. Greer against Chase. Woolridge cuts speed. He's going to go for a touchdown. Yards for John Woolridge, a young man who was a doubtful performer here earlier in the week because he suffered a rib injury, and he's being congratulated by Keith Byers, the big horse who is not playing, but who is not being missed right now by the Buckeyes either. Rich Spangler to attempt the extra point. Hayden Fry must feel its deja vu in Columbus. Where did all these Indians come from? Ohio State is jumping all over the top-rated team in the country right now.
Watch here. Look at the hole. Hap Peterson, number 50, veers, and Woolridge will cut in behind it. Maggs, number 71, is blocking the linebacker. Look at that daylight. Beautiful. Oh, Devon Mitchell missed him right there. I didn't see that at first, but now he's got daylight. And you see, Greer cannot catch him. And what a well-blocked, well-run play for the Buckeyes.
Ohio State with the lead, and we've got a timeout in Columbus. Era, show us how this play developed. What happened in the middle here?
Watch number 50, Peterson, right here, will loop to the right, comes and gets depth, and you'll see Woolridge finesses him. Maggs continues on and blocks off the linebacker. Watch this. Watch number 50, the middle guard, loops around. He is actually finessed because not blocked. Woolridge cuts back to the daylight. Maggs, number 71, right there, walls off station 36. Devon Mitchell misses it, and Woolridge is off for the races.
And Era, of course, one of the big questions is, what happened to those two inside linebackers in that play? We saw what happened to Hap Peterson, but obviously those linebackers moved. And just as soon as we see Spangler kick off here, we want to see that live. We're going to go back and show you the end zone angle because those were the men they were attacking. Now it's 12-0. 9 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the first half. An upset brewing in Columbus. There's Harmon, 5, 10, 15, 20, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Daylight developed, but the coverage came. So, Era, take us back now and show us the inside view.
You'll see here Maggs, the center that is in front of Carsadas, comes off of this as Hap Peterson veers. Station comes clear across to the action, and Maggs walls him off. And, of course, Davis is screened off as well. Let's take a look at it. You do not see Maggs, number 71, right there. Uhlenhake comes up and through, number 68 with Maggs right here, and Maggs right there, Uhlenhake there. Watch. And they're walled off, both of them.
What a great play that was by the Buckeyes. And now, 1st and 10, the Hawkeyes under fire. Ronnie Harmon coming through with a big gain, getting close to the 35-yard line, and Terry White, the free safety, with the hit. Era, Iowa now needs something badly in the next 8:45, something they can go into the locker room and build upon for Coach Fry. They don't want to go in and give up another touchdown here. I think the next 8:35 is absolutely critical for the Hawkeyes in this football game.
Well, there's a lot of time in this football game, and of course Long can strike quickly, but I think that he needs to complete some passes, so he's able to read the coverage and know exactly what the Buckeyes are doing. I think he's a little bit confused by it. You see they're going conservative here with a run and a sneak. They didn't even try on 2nd down and short to go for a waste down. They decided to just go ahead for the 1st down, which is indication that they want to be a conservative here and get back into field position before they try anything fancy with Long.
Happel brings the play in from Hayden Fry's sideline. And Quinn Early leaves as they continue to shuttle in and out receivers with the plays. Iowa comes up here with 8 minutes to go in the first half, and they'll have split backs, Hudson and Harmon. And they bring Helverson in motion. Long comes straight back. Down the right side, and it's intercepted again. And this one is intercepted by Rogan, number 29, the third interception against Chuck Long by the Buckeyes.
This is absolutely incredible because the Buckeyes gave up almost 500 yards to Purdue. I just said that Long had to complete a pass. He completes it, but he completes it to the Buckeyes. Look at the coverage. He threw right into coverage. That's Rogan right there, 29. But it was bad judgment on Long's part, no question.
First and 10 for Carsados. Off a fake. Earl Bruce will put it up. He comes underneath the Workman, who is run out of bounds by George Millette, the right end. For Chuck Long, it has been an afternoon of frustration. He has already thrown 3 interceptions. A week ago, he was throwing 1 touchdown after another. But this Buckeye defense is a lot different than Northwestern's, and Long is learning that here this afternoon in Columbus. Now it is 2nd down and 5. With a 12-0 lead, Jimmy Carsados brings the Buckeyes to the line of scrimmage, and confidence is starting to bubble here in Columbus. They run Cooper, the fullback. Daylight, he's inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line.
They got the Hawkeyes off balance. Watch Cooper, the fullback, 245. Step in there. He actually was hit right at the line of scrimmage, shook loose from the tacklers. There goes Devon Mitchell station. Take another look at it from the end zone. Good blocking by the line. A young line, inexperienced, coming into the season that has done a remarkable job of improving in every game.
And we saw the first appearance of Roman Bates in there for 1 play. Now John Woolridge comes back, and here he is. His last carry was 57 yards for a touchdown. Now he's inside the 20-yard line before Norvell brings him down. We got action here, and it's also brewing around the country. Let's go to a day when Chuck Long could have made a move on Bo Jackson. He comes up firing interceptions, 3 of them. Carsados off a delay, runs Cooper. Cooper for the end zone, gets to the 5. John Breeze, the right tackle, 57, hauls him down.
Absolutely the same little draw play that Michigan State hurt the Iowa team. Iowa needs a timeout to regroup. They're off balance. The Buckeyes have kept them off balance. Watch here. Cooper comes out like it's going to be the Carsados. Look at that hole. It's exactly the same thing that Michigan State did to the Hawkeyes about 3 weeks ago.
And the head coach can only wonder what's gone wrong here this afternoon. And more importantly, can he put things back together? It is a 1st and goal. Workman, the freshman, is at the tail. Cooper, he's met by the middle of that Hawkeye defense. Got close to the 3-yard line. Jeff Drost and Hap Peterson certainly were in there someplace.
They're in good position for that. You know, Brent, that little option play they ran against Minnesota last week would be a good call right here on 2nd down. Here they're just trying to muscle it in here. Cooper picks up a few yards, but good response by the Hawkeye defense.
The tight end, Ed Taggart, number 80, is right next to Cooper. He's the young man who caught the touchdown pass against Minnesota on 4th and goal. Carsados keeps it, and they ride him down hard as he tries to turn the corner there. Bruce Gear, number 94, who had come in their goal line defense, whacked the quarterback down. He was exposed with that running play.
I think he'd been better served had he gone to the wide side of the field. They had well defensed on the short side. They had the wing on the right side. I thought they were going to run the option to the field, but they came short side. There's Earl.
You know, Bruce will surprise you. He's not as conservative as you might think. We saw him come up with some plays against Minnesota like when it was 4th and 1, he threw the pass, faked the run. That was actually a 2-point conversion play that they put in. He has the final authority, so we've got a timeout. We're going to break. 5:10 to go in the first half, and we'll be right back. To rain hard here this afternoon in Columbus, but as far as the fans and the band are concerned, it's a bright, sunshiny day. The Buckeyes are ahead of Iowa 12-0 with 5:10 to go, and Earl Bruce is not noticing the rain either, Era.
And what if, well, let's see, there's 5 minutes left to go, 5:10 in this quarter. And Ohio State already has 226 yards and absolutely equally distributed. 113 rushing and 113 passing. Let's see what they come up with here.
Woolridge is at the tail. The wide side is to Carsados' right. Here, end around. Here comes Carter. Cuts back up the middle and fumbles the ball. Now the ball went through the end zone and out of bounds, and he was pitching the ball. Taggart, there's a penalty flag thrown. Take a look at this. See what I told you? Earl Bruce, just when you think it's real conservative, right? Now watch. Here comes Carter. As he goes down, he flips the ball. George Millette hit him, and Taggart was wide open. Era, I've never seen that play down by the goal line.
But I don't see the penalty because it was a forward pass. I didn't see anyone downfield. Let's see what the call's going to be.
I thought when Millette hit him, watching him for the first time, he simply fumbled the ball. Now when we look at it, he was up in the air and he got hit, and so it was half pass, half fumble, all incompletion is what that play was.
We've got an illegal forward pass. Lost it down on the offense.
I don't see anyone downfield. Let's see if we can pick it up. Here he comes with the reverse. He hands off behind. I see no one downfield.
Watch
illegally.
now the 5-yard line there.
Now let's see. He was not past the line of scrimmage. I see no one downfield, which would make it illegal. I don't see the call.
Now Spangler has made one from 28 yards, missed one from 31. Now it's 26 yards and it's good. He's 2 of 3. And Spangler puts the Buckeyes up 15-0. 5 minutes to go. Hayden Fry's turn it back. So on 4th down, Ohio State kicks a field goal, and they lead Iowa 15-0. I'll tell you something, it could be a lot worse. It could be much worse than 15-0.
Yes, that's right. They've been down in there, been forced a couple of field goals.
Harmon and Quinn Early are back deep. Spangler has the ball teed up here in Columbus. Here's Harmon at the 10. Knocked down hard at the 11-yard line. What great kickoff coverage by the Buckeyes. John Sullivan, a linebacker, number 57, just came down and whacked him down at the 11-yard line. Take a look at this, Coach.
Boy, Harmon was really hit. Put yourself in Harmon's position. You're returning the kickoff. Watch Sullivan come in here, number 57. Wham! Woo! He is really hit.
So again, it is not good field position for the Hawkeyes.
They started at the average of their own 18-yard line. Now that's tough to operate.
From the eye, Chuck Long runs Harmon, and he gets out to about the 19-yard line. So tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern time here on CBS. It's the NFL Today. John Madden will be live. He's covering the Giants. Ali Haji Sheikh has returned as a field goal kicker, but is he ready to go, and what's going on with that situation? John will report on that. The Bears and the Packers, the great refrigerator grudge match going on in Green Bay, and we'll get an update on that. We'll hear about Eric Dickerson and Dan Marino. Here in Columbus, it is 15-0. The Buckeyes lead the Hawkeyes. Long rolling to the left. And his receivers were covered, and he is hauled down by Sullivan, who has come into the game after making that great hit on the special team. They have left his twin brother in. If it's not one Sullivan, it's the other one getting to you.
It looked like Long wanted to run the football. It looked like he might be able to pick up some yardage until Sullivan recovered very quickly and knocked him down.
Now there's what Era just told you about Iowa's starting field position being their own 18, and the Buckeyes, meanwhile, are much closer to midfield. 3rd and 3. Harmon gets out to the first down at about the 22-yard line. And again, Mike Sullivan, along with Byron Lee, 82, in on that stop.
I would think that Hayden Fry doesn't want any mistakes down here with less than 4 minutes. 3:29 left. Give Ohio State another field position, another opportunity. Whatever he does throw, I'm sure will be a very conservative pass.
You know, they have put Sullivan in place of Kolick at middle guard. Long to throw underneath to Harmon. And run out of bounds near the 27-yard line, Greg Rogan, who has one of the 3 intercepted passes here by the Buckeyes in the first half. Spielman got one, William White got one, and Rogan got one. And, of course, around the conference, this action going on. Michigan leading Illinois by a field goal in Champaign. And Michigan State has already beaten Minnesota, playing without quarterback Foggy this afternoon in the 3rd, and that's in the 4th. 2nd and 5, and they run Harmon, and he is just swarmed all over by the Buckeyes that time. Pepper Johnson was there along with Sullivan again.
And Spielman again. Spielman was in there too, Brett. He's been all over the field today.
And Chris Spielman.
Got a shot there of Hayden Fry, and I'm sure that he'd like to get off the field here at halftime. No worse than 15-0. Kind of regroup in there, try to decide on what happened in the first half. There's offense and defense. And get them pumped up for the second half.
Well, the secondary of Ohio State has done a job here so far. This is to Hudson, the fullback. He comes out of that pile. He's still going. 35, 40, 45. Run out of bounds right there near the 45-yard line. Sonny Gordon got him a 20-yard gain. How did Hudson come free?
I don't know. There must be 3 or 4 missed tackles in there. You see, Long has plenty of time to throw the ball, cannot find anyone open. Decides to dump it off to his little check man right here, which is Hudson, number 20. There's Lee. There's Spielman missing right there. Here comes Pepper Johnson. He misses. He's knocked off by one of his own men. There's Terry White, number 12. He misses. Finally, Sonny Gordon comes over the strong safety.
Did you see Happel? He was set in behind the tackler, and he said, I can't go in. I can't go any closer. I'm going to clip. Well, if he'd have turned around, he'd have had a shot at Sonny Gordon, who was coming over. Now it is 1st and 10. Long, straight back. Hard to the sideline, and again the ball is thrown high. Incomplete. That's not the Chuck Long we're familiar with. He normally hits wide receivers right in the numbers, especially Happel and Helverson.
And Terry White, the hard hitter in that defensive secondary, the free safety, number 12, puts a pretty good hit on Happel. Let's see whether or not he shakes it loose. Happel has to jump for the football right there, but there's the contact by Terry White, 12.
Never had control of the football, and just as you pointed out, Arrow, when you got a hard hitter, you do not want to expose a receiver like that, or keep him down where he can tuck that ball in and deliver his own blow. Here's Harmon, daylight, 45, 40, 35-yard line, and Ronnie Harmon, with his best run of the game, gets inside the 35, and Terry White is forced to get him out of bounds. A 21-yard gain. The Hawkeyes with 2 minutes to work with. The rain coming down in Columbus. They're down by 15, and they desperately want something on that board to climb back in right now. So we are live at the Horseshoe, Ohio Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. The Buckeyes have not lost here in 19 straight games. And right now, they lead the top-ranked team in the nation, the Hawkeyes of Iowa, by 15 points. Fake to Harmon. Long underneath, and Harmon released into the middle and got across the 30 down to about the 27. Larry Kolick, number 33, and, of course, Chris Spielman, the ever-present Chris Spielman. And down in the Southeast Conference, Auburn leading Florida tough game. Bo Jackson, in case you didn't hear, injured and not playing. Alabama rolling. And Tennessee shutting out Rutgers. There, they've got a timeout down there on the field. And so I want to remind everybody that at halftime we'll have the Prudential College Football Report. Jim Nance and Pat Hayden. And we got a timeout, so let's take a break here from Columbus. Afternoons, there was a coach here by the name of Woody Hayes. Look at his record, 205 wins and 61 defeats, and one of his proudest moments came after he'd retired as head football coach here. They have a tradition that they dot the I, and usually it is one of the veteran members of the band, but on this Saturday afternoon it was the former head coach Woody Hayes himself. And Woody has not been feeling well. He suffered a heart attack about a month ago, but Era, I know you spoke to him on the telephone, and he was so pleased to hear from you yesterday.
Really was, and he's the fellow that hired me at Miami of Ohio, my freshman, made me the freshman coach, and then when I left, he's the guy that recommended I become the head coach and started me in my head coaching career.
He's pulling for that Buckeye defense right now because Iowa looks impressive on this drive. The blitz is on. Long gets it off. Happel has got it. Across the 20, 15, and he's down at the 12. Let me tell you that Chuck Long took a tremendous jolt that time on the blitz, but he hung right in there, and that's one of the things that distinguishes Chuck Long. He will take punishment like he does in this sequence here.
He got
now
the ball
watch
away.
the pressure coming from the backside. He doesn't feel it. He gets hit by Rogan, but he still completes the pass to Happel.
And Pepper Johnson loses him right there and makes another man miss. Sonny Gordon coming over along with Lee to save it from a touchdown. Big, good drive by Iowa here.
And they run Hudson. He has run powerfully in this sequence, and again it is Spielman leading the defensive charge by the Buckeyes that time.
He came into the ball game. I'm talking about Hudson with a 4.3 average. Bush started during the early part of the year, and he was replaced by Hudson, who is a very strong fullback. Good blocker.
Kneel down in that huddle, and of course, Hayden Fry wants to get something up on that board and go into the locker room and then build on that in the second half. Long rolling to the right. Faking. Receivers are covered. Incomplete. Rogan, and that was not a well-thrown ball that time.
I think once he released that ball, he wanted it back.
His receiver was well covered in the back of the end zone. Arrow, we've got a third, and what can Hayden Fry think of with Chuck Long struggling in the first half? He'd like to get a touchdown rather than settle for a field goal. What's his sequence going to be now?
He's got to throw the football, I think. Of course, he can use Harmon, checking him through. There's a lot of possibilities, but I think if he can get the ball in the end zone, it'll be a great psychological edge for Iowa.
He has 2 timeouts and 47 seconds. He's going to try to stretch out the defense. Harmon cuts back, and he is jammed up down there at the 4-yard line. Mike Key, number 30, was in on that goal line defense. Well, Hayden Fry and his assistant coaches are talking about it, and that gives us an opportunity to take a look at all the schools in the Big Ten Conference. Ronnie Harmon might have been shaken up on this run.
You watch closely here. Just as he gets tackled, you'll see his left knee get caught. It's trapped underneath, and of course all the Buckeye tacklers are tackling him. Watch his left leg. It's planted right here. You can see it right there being twisted. I think he's all right. He was fortunate, but you can see he's hurt. Glad to get out of that one without too much damage.
Do you agree with 4th and 2 to go for the touchdown here by Hayden, Era?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the best thing that could happen to him is to get a touchdown before they go in at halftime.
Well, here it comes for the Hawkeyes. It's the play of the half. Long pitches Harmon. Hudson leads the way. Harmon for the corner, and he's got it. Touchdown, Iowa. Ronnie Harmon steps in. A big moment in this game for the Hawkeyes.
It really is. With just 28 seconds left to go in the half, this will be a great psychological boost for the Hawkeyes. They needed that on 4th down, and that was a tremendous job of running by Harmon. He just turned on the Jets, got to the corner, and it was very close. It was not, the defense, it was defense pretty well, Brent.
They move 88 yards in 14 plays, and they took 4.5 minutes to do it. And Rob Houtland, the Michigan hero, nails the extra point. It is 15-7.
We'll see how he did it here. He'll come down the right side. There's the option. He pitches it out. There's 37 White, but he's blocked there by Hudson enough that he can't recover off of it, and he makes the move and just gets into the corner inside the pylon for the touchdown.
Tremendous lead block by the fullback Hudson that helped spring Ronnie Harmon as he stretched that defense to its limit and then got into the end zone. Young running back out of Bayside, Queens, New York.
It was a great drive, 18 plays, 82 yards, and the big one was the Hudson and the Harmon runs in the middle of the field.
Well, here we are in Columbus, Ohio, and what a fine school this is. Let's take a look at it now. Iowa City right now, they're all sitting around watching television, and they have to be enthused about what's transpired here in the last 4.5 minutes. Their team not playing well in the first half, but yet they're only down 15-7. And if you're a Buckeye booster, you've got to wish that some of those field goals had been touchdowns here in the first half. Here's the kickoff on into the end zone and down there by Everett Ross, the freshman out of Columbus, Ohio. So on the touchback, it'll come out on the 20-yard line now, and the rain has stopped completely in Columbus. And next week here on CBS, we will bring you the Miami Hurricanes against the Maryland Terrapins. And Miami remembers that meeting a year ago when they led by 31 and then lost the game. We'll be on the air at 3:30 Eastern Time. So Hayden Fry and the Hawkeyes have got 28 seconds, but they have to feel that they're very much back in this football game. Ohio State will kill the clock right here. So Ohio State just letting the time run out. Nara, what's your assessment of what we've seen here in the first half so far?
Well, I think Earl Bruce has to be mighty pleased with the defensive performance. I said at the top of the show that they had to have an outstanding defensive performance. They certainly got that. Also, Carsadas being able to throw the football and Chuck Long being picked off 3 times. But psychologically, going in at halftime right here, it has to be a big lift for the Hawkeyes because they're on the board.
For the Buckeyes, there were 2 enormous plays in the first half. On a 4th down, Gary Costroballo was punting from his own end zone. Sonny Gordon came for the left side. He had a free alley. He poured in, blocked the punt, and knocked it out of the end zone for a safety. Then the other big play, John Woolridge, the tailback, cutting back to the left, eluding the nose guard. The linebackers were sealed, breaking a tackle from Devon Mitchell and going 57 yards for the touchdown. Ohio State leads 15-7, but Iowa scored the last touchdown, and they'll try to build on that when we come back for the second half. Record, 90,467. They sat through some rain, and they watched the Buckeyes of Earl Bruce go ahead, and then they watched the Hawkeyes of Hayden Fry rally. Now we'll start the second half. Mark Cook kicks it off deep into the end zone. It'll be down there by Ross. A touchback. It'll be brought out to the 20-yard line, and the Buckeyes will go to work right there. Hayden Fry conferring over there on the sideline. The man who has done such a remarkable job of rebuilding this program is talking to backup quarterback Mark Vlasic, and there is the final. Florida downs Auburn 14-10, and Bo Jackson suffered a bruised thigh. So it has been a tough 2 weeks for superstars in college football. In fact, it's been a tough year. 1st and 10 now. John Woolridge is the tailback. He goes in motion. Carsados wants to throw on 1st down. Complete to Lanise. Driven out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Sims was over there covering on the play.
Not bashful at all. Bruce comes right out smoking with Carsadas right now, and Carsadas is right on target. So they're starting exactly what they did in the first quarter. Mike Lenise, number 1. Drost looked like he almost had his hand up there, number 76, to knock the ball down. Just passed to the side of his hand.
This is a very big drive for the Buckeyes. Having given up that touchdown, they want to come right back. There's the fullback, Cooper. He bangs out to the 36-yard line.
Stopped by George Davis.
This is one of the better passing Ohio State teams that we have seen, Coach.
Yeah, I noticed that last week against Minnesota as we watched Carsadas come up with some clutch passes, particularly when they were down 19-10. He brought the Buckeyes back, and he hit some passes that I didn't think he could get in to zone coverage where there were 3 people around the defender or the receiver.
Taggart goes strong to the left. The Hawkeyes show blitz, and Sims backs on out. Now Sims tightens up on the wide man, and they run Woolridge right straight ahead. And he is hit by Devon Mitchell, and he is short of a first down.
They had the hole at the line of scrimmage pretty well blocked, but good recovery by the secondary and linebackers kept that from being a big gainer.
3rd and 3 for Ohio State. And Hutchison brings the play in from the sideline. Lenise in motion. Here's the fullback, right straight ahead, close to a first down, but he may have been stopped short. Depending on where they spot that ball right now.
Looks like he's just a little short.
Pat Peterson, Larry Station, and Jeff Rost.
See where they mark it. Important play for both teams. For Iowa as well as the Buckeyes.
They're going to leave the ball right there and bring the chains clear across the field here for the measurement. Ohio State leading Iowa 15-7. They got that safety on a blocked punt here in the first half. And Cooper did get the first down.
I think that's very important because possession, as I mentioned earlier in the telecast, is very important to the Buckeyes. Whether you realize it or not, Iowa had the ball a longer period of time in the first half than the Buckeyes did.
Carter goes to the left. Lenise is to the right. Taggart the tight end. Lenise in motion. Carsados goes to the wide side in the motion man Lenise, who steps out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Another first down for Ohio State.
Boy, Norvell, the strong safety, was shaking his head because he almost was in an interception position. Watch Lenise breaks to the outside. You'll see Norvell, number 45, right there. Can't get to it. The ball was thrown over his head, but he thought he might be able to get a piece of it. Devon Mitchell giving a little necktie there.
Lenise doing an excellent job after making the reception when he turned around, seeing how far he had to go for the first down before he went out of bounds. Now the wide side of the field is to Carsados' right. They run Woolridge right straight ahead. And he blasts across the 40-yard line, and the Buckeyes on the move again. John Breeze, 57, on top of the ball carrier that time. Next week, of course, it's Miami. And they will take on Maryland in the great revenge match here at 3:30 Eastern time on CBS. And also, out on the West Coast, Arizona State will take on Washington. And that game, of course, has Rose Bowl implications as far as the Pac-10 is concerned. Then in 2 weeks, Iowa against Purdue and Maryland against Clemson will be our 2 games. And it's still to be determined if Iowa will be number 1 then. Little delay, great draw with Cooper, the fullback. And he's down inside the 15-yard line. He carried a couple of tacklers with him.
The same little sprint draw that Michigan State used so successfully that Cooper used in the second quarter down at the opposite end of the field. Left guard Jeff Uhlenhake makes a great block on the play. Watch here. Carsados reverse pivots, and you'll see Cooper just kind of hesitate. Uhlenhake blocking Peterson clear across the hole, and look at this daylight. Station, number 36, blocked by Maggs because he overreacts. Big play.
9 carries by Cooper for 73 yards. Here's Woolridge, and Jeff Frost comes in behind and helps pull him down close to the 15-yard line. Earl Bruce telling us in our meeting era that he wanted to build on what Michigan State had done offensively. He really didn't think that Michigan had done a very good job offensively, but he said Michigan State showed us some things we think we can use, and that play obviously is one of them.
That, along with the single coverage that the Carsados is throwing, manages to find a single receiver with no underneath coverage, has been successful, and that little sprint draw is a tough play to defend against, particularly when you get fast-flowing linebackers like Station there, 36.
Carsados off a great fake, and it's incomplete. Carsados complaining. He said his receiver was interfered with.
Let's see what happens on the play. There's a little complaint there as to whether or not there was interference. It's holding him up. Let's see what happens right here. There's the, let's see. Oh, yes. My goodness, that is interference. I didn't
Is that how
see
you
it.
talk on the sideline? My goodness, Mr. Official.
No. But for the public consumption, I'm a bit more careful. But they get the general idea.
3rd and 11. Here's Cooper on that sprint draw again, and this time Iowa brings him down short of the 10-yard line, and that time it was Larry Station era again. It's a field goal situation. Here comes Rich Spangler. This is the 4th time that the Buckeyes have been knocking on the door, and each time they've had to attempt, actually the 5th time. They've already missed 1 field goal, converted 3.
It's a tribute to the Iowa defense because they've given a lot of yardage in the middle of the field, and they get down inside that 20-yard line, and they've really stiffened up and made it tough for the Buckeyes. And Spangler has missed 1 field goal.
This one's no good either. And that is an enormous miss by the Buckeyes. No one feels any worse about it than the young man who attempted it, Rich Spangler. It's 15-7. Iowa's turn it back when you come back. Play that they were complaining about.
Watch Taggart here, number 80, right here at left end, releases off the line. Right here, Norvell, number 45, comes up and grabs him. I think Iowa got away with one there. Let's watch it. You see Taggart coming off the line, looking for the ball. Now, Norvell comes up and grabs him, and you cannot make contact with a man after he's even or past you.
And Taggart breaks free in the end zone, and look at what he sees when he first looks up. Right in the official's face, asking him, rather pleading with him, to why the flag wasn't thrown on the play. But regardless, Ohio State has missed its 2nd field goal. They've hit 2. They're 500. 1st and 10 for the Hawkeyes. And now it's Ronnie Harmon trying to get outside, gets around Lee, and gets out to the 28 before Pepper Johnson brings him down. Now they are tied 3-3. So Chris White hits the field goal that brings Illinois back, and what a big game that is in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they'll have some meaning as to the championship with a tie there, even though they maybe have lost the football. I mean, they have 1 loss on their record.
The Hawkeyes come up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 2. And here's Hudson straight ahead for the 1st down. And the young fullback out of Waxahachie, Texas, doing a good job. And so while we correct the problem that we've got down here in the truck in Columbus, let's go to Pat Hayden in New York. Pat?
Brent, you just mentioned that Michigan-Illinois score. With 4 seconds left, Chris White tries this 37-yard field goal. It hits the crossbar. The score ends 3-3. Let's go back to Brent Nero.
So here we are, and it is Ronnie Harmon of the Hawkeyes getting out near the 40-yard line. Now, we are attempting to fix our technical problem down in the truck, so what we're going to do is stay with some 1-camera coverage here while they work on that switcher downstairs in our remote vehicle out behind the Horseshoe Stadium here. So we have 2nd down and 1, and we'll give it the coverage from the 50-yard line here with our director, Joe Assetti. Single setback for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and they run long right straight ahead for the 1st down. And that's out close to the 45-yard line. Chris Spielman, 36. Getting in on the stop there, and he helps Harmon up to his feet.
Establishing a running game here, Brent, will help Chuck Long because it'll bring response by the defense to stop Harmon and Hudson in there and maybe set up some more open receivers for him than they had in the first half.
8:25 to go. We're in the third quarter. Here's Harmon cutting back, has a hole, steps to the 45 and tries to spin free and gets to the 43.
And a well-blocked hole on the inside. He's finding daylight. You can see right here the fake to Hudson. He leads through and makes a great block on Spielman right there. And Harmon, watch this move. He tries to break it back to the inside here. I don't know how he makes this move, but you see Rogan, number 29, come in and grab him.
Well, I know we got limited facilities, but the men down there in the truck are doing a fine job right now. Replay work looked good, men. Now they run Hudson right straight down close to the 40-yard line. Pepper Johnson, 98, and the captain of this defensive unit, in on the stop. And those members of the Iowa band who traveled here from Iowa City, they have to feel things moving in their direction right now. The Buckeyes with a lot of missed opportunities here this afternoon. And the Hawkeyes trying to cash in. Remember, Hayden Fry's team scored with time running out in the first half.
And it was an 88-yard, 14-play drive that led to the touchdown. And here they are with a nice drive running the football.
It's Harmon again with that little spin move, getting to the 39. It's going to be a big third down play coming up.
Eisenman, number 61 in there, playing the outside linebacker behind Byron Lee, made the play that time.
The defensive calls are signaled in from the Buckeye sideline, and then Pepper Johnson passes them on to the unit. And now Chuck Long with a third down and about 5 to go. And Long will call a timeout. He did not like the defense he was looking at, and he'll go over to the sideline to confer with head coach Hayden Fry, and we'll be right back. Following a timeout by Chuck Long and the Hawkeyes. They are down 15-7 and apparently without Bill Happel, who was there rotating and trying to loosen up in the left shoulder. He injured it in the first half when he was tackled as he went out of bounds on the far sideline. So Hayden Fry and his assistant coaches have switched to their speed receivers. Robert Smith is number 2 and Quinn Early is number 1. Chuck Long complaining that he cannot be heard. Now he goes ahead with the play. Waiting on third down, he's bumped. Gets the pass loose, and it is to 79. Mike Haight, and there's a penalty flag down all over the field because he's an offensive tackle.
Can't complete a pass to an offensive tackle, and that's what happened. Mike Haight, illegal receiver, loss of down, and I think it might take him out of field goal position. Take a look here, the pressure that he gets from the left side, right here as he tries to scramble out. Number 95 right there, Darrell Lee, gets him down, but that's Mike Haight, number 79, and he can't catch a ball. But if you'll see, Quinn Early, number 1, the lower part of your screen, runs right by, I think it's goalie, no, that's White, William White. Look how open he is. If Long could have seen him.
Aaron, Mike Haight was at the right offensive tackle spot when the play developed, and he was all the way on the ground, got back up to help out, and suddenly he saw the football headed in his direction. So he caught it and turned upfield. He said, maybe they'll think I'm an eligible receiver.
But that pressure by Darrell Lee on Long prevented Long finding Quinn Early on that play. Gary
Costrabala, who has had one punt block and a couple of near misses, will try again. Gets this one off. Lanice lets it bounce, and it'll go out of bounds. The official marking the ball over there was hit by one of the players there on his foot, and they'll spot the ball around the 14-yard line. And that's where the Buckeyes will put it in play. So tomorrow on the NFL Today, 12:30 Eastern Time, Eric Dickerson and Dan Marino. What a difference a year makes for those two stars. The Bears and the Packers, John Madden live. And then, of course, we'll have our regional coverage. The Bears and the Packers. How about the Giants? A lot of people think they've got the best talent in the NFC East. Detroit plays Minnesota, Washington against Atlanta. A couple of late games, too. The Eagles playing very well lately. All tomorrow on CBS. Here it is, 1st and 10 now for the Buckeyes. Long count by Carsados. Runs the tailback, Woolridge. Penalty flag is thrown, however. He gets out to the 30-yard line. The umpire just tossed it right in the direction of that offensive line.
Right in the middle. Looked like the left guard or center from the way he threw the flag. Ten yards. Big penalty because it was a big gainer, and you can see Earl Bruce is really upset by it.
Of course, it nullifies this 16-yard gain.
Let's see if we can pick it up.
They were holding Hap
right
Peterson.
there.
There's no question.
Yes, I think so. That's who it is.
Grabbed him by the belt.
Number 56, Jim Gilmore, I think.
Hello, Mr. Peterson. It's one way to stop that nose guard.
Good call. Who called that? Earl wants to know who called that.
I don't think Earl agrees with you, Earl.
There's number 71, Maggs. He's got his hand out there, but I think Gilmore, right here, number 56, kept Dross from coming back to the play. In any event, it's a 10-yard penalty.
First and 17. And they run Woolridge again, and Dross was ready for him that time. He delivered the first hit, and then Millette came in and cleaned up. So Penn State faced a big battle, but they came from behind to win that one. Army, and they're looking for a bowl bid, aren't they? Notre Dame in the second, leading Navy by 10 points. And, of course, we'll have the Army-Navy game coming your way on December 7th here on CBS. Right now, it's Ohio State, Iowa. 5:40 to go, third quarter. Here's the second down for Carsados. Off the fake. He's got time. Intercepted by Iowa. Jay Norvell has done it again, and he's down to the 19-yard line.
His 6th interception of the year, and what a big one it is because of the field position they have. There's an end zone look. There's 45. Jay Norvell dropping back out of there. He's a strong safety, but playing the too deep zone. You can see right there, Carsados was not a good choice. He thought Lanise was going to break in front of Norvell, but Lanise was behind him. Big play for Iowa.
Well, the biggest play in that series was the holding call against the Buckeyes. And the Hawkeyes make the most of it. Opportunistic they have been this year. Jay Norvell talking to the defensive assistants upstairs. Again, Long complaining to the referee that he can't hear going into the closed end of the stadium. Here's Ronnie Harmon trying to wiggle free, and he cannot. Getting to about the 16-yard line. Ray Holloman, 55, was one of the first Buckeyes to hit him.
And Pepper Johnson in through.
Well, Arrow, when your quarterback is struggling the way Long has here this afternoon, and you're very much in the game, what are you careful of at this juncture when you're Hayden Fry?
Well, he's got great field position. He's got 4 downs to do it. In the event that he doesn't get the first down, of course, he'll have to make a choice between the field goal and the touchdown. I think I'd go for the field goal. But Long, they're very dangerous down in here. They've gotten into the end zone when they get good field position. It's one of the few times in this game that they've had field position.
Here's Harmon, hole in the middle, close to the 10-yard line, and you have to get to just about the 9-yard line for a first down. So they're going to have a 3rd and short coming up here.
Harmon's got great feet. Watch him move as they come through the hole here. Pepper Johnson, 98, overreacts there. Now he starts to come back. But look at Harmon stop, spin off, come forward for another yard or two. This is a tough defensive call for Ohio State. Do they want to go to a goal line and get single coverage on the wide receivers, or play it conservative with a standard defense? Let's see what they do.
Now Iowa will show the power eye.
Goal line look.
And this time, a discretionary timeout because of the noise going in. So now they must come over to the sideline and, of course, alert Coach Bruce and the Buckeye fans to quiet down a little bit. And there you see the players, and here's the announcement.
The offensive team must be able to hear those signals. We request cooperation and courtesy of the offensive team. Any further noise infraction may result in a charge timeout to the defense, or possibly a penalty. We ask you please your cooperation.
So the raindrops continuing to come down here in Columbus, Ohio. The Iowa Hawkeyes come up with about a 3rd and 2. They'll have Hudson, Bush, and Harmon behind Long. Double tight end. Harmon cuts back, struggling to get the first down, and he may be short of it.
See where they mark it.
Pepper Johnson, 98, stepped up into that hole. The decision now, the pressure is on Hayden and his coaches.
Let's try to give the ball to Harmon over that right side, trying to pick up that necessary yardage. There isn't much of a hole there. He comes back, and as you pointed out, Pepper Johnson picks him up.
We have to do that at least once a week. Call him Pepper Rogers. I know I did once last week. And there's Pepper stepping in there, and he's wrestling Harmon down. All right. Power eye. Harmon tries to go over the top. Cannot make it. Ohio State ball.
What a defense. Penetration by the blitzing linebackers. Come in and make stop Harmon. Harmon tries to dive over the pile. I can't quite see who the first man is on him, but a great defense. Here's another view. That's Terry White coming in here. And there's the tackler right there. I can't quite pick up his number, but a terrific job of defense.
And on first down, they've just power out straight ahead with Cooper, and they get to the 25-yard line. We take a look now behind the defense. Now, this was 4th down and short, and Harmon tried to go up over the top, but he actually jumped right into the arms of one Chris Spielman. And down he goes with the Buckeyes celebrating as they hold the Iowa Hawkeyes on 4th and 1. George Cooper, the fullback, carried the ball, was shaken up on that play. He's down. Now he's up. He's fine. But we got a timeout here in Columbus. We'll be right back. Iowa quarterback Chuck Long back on the sideline, waiting now for the defense to get him the ball back as the rain continues to come down in Columbus. And, of course, Long and the Hawkeyes are familiar with rain. He wants through 6 touchdown passes. But this defense here in Columbus has not been yielding here this afternoon. They've given up only 1 score against the team that is averaging 40 points a game to lead the nation. They were just stopped on 4th and 1. And then the big fullback Cooper came out, and he got an important first down, Coach.
He really did, because Ohio State, even though they stopped, the Iowa Hawkeyes did not have the ball in good field position, and Cooper just popped right up the middle and took the ball out to the 24 in less dangerous area.
Bill Matlock checks in as fullback. They run the tailback Woolridge, and he gets out to the 30-yard line, and Larry Station making the stop. Let's go to New York now for an update, and here's Jim Nance.
All right, Brent, running down some of the scores in the top 10. Nebraska will become the 6th school to win 600 games in school history. They lead Kansas State 27-3 in the 4th quarter. Also, Big 8, Oklahoma, big day from their freshman quarterback, Jameel Holloway. They lead Kansas. Another good freshman performance by quarterback Chip Ferguson of Florida State. 2 touchdown passes. They're 10 up on Miami. Let's go back to Brent Nero.
All right, Cooper has returned after missing one play because of the injury. Second down, they run him right away, and the Hawkeyes were ready. Richard Pryor, 99, the left end. Closed in quickly on him. Brought him down. Cooper on the afternoon has been a real force for the Buckeyes. He's carried 12 times for 88 yards.
Pryor really puts a good hit on Cooper right there, 99. Really stops 245-pound George Cooper. Great tackle by Pryor.
Now, in case you were not with us at the top of the broadcast, Keith Byers, the Ohio State All American, is out and will not play here this afternoon. Single setback showing on this third down. Carsados off a fake. Throws complete. First down. And the tight end, Ed Taggart, with a 14-yard gain for the Buckeyes.
Boy, that was a great catch by Taggart. The ball was thrown low and beyond him, and he made a nice diving effort for it and hung on to it.
The ball is at the 43. It's 1st and 10. We are down to 1:20 left in the 3rd quarter. Cooper near midfield. Norvell and Mitchell making the stop, but Cooper is starting to wear down that defensive front.
He really is. You know, Cooper came in here averaging 4.7. You know, that makes a lot of first downs if they keep the ball in his hands. Also sets up the passing plays for him.
2nd down and 4. Woolridge, the tailback, behind Cooper. They slot Carter to the right. They run Cooper straight ahead. And he is short of the first down. Hap Peterson, the nose guard, number 50. Kept Cooper from getting the first down as the offensive line of the Hawkeyes sits on the side and waits right now. Their guard, Tom Humphrey, hoping that time does not run out before they can rally the top-rated team in the nation. And here the seconds tick down on the 3rd quarter. Ohio State content to let it run out. They lead 15-7, and it was a defensive play that did it. On 4th and 1, they stopped Ronnie Harmon. We'll be right back for the final 15 minutes. 15 minutes to go, and the Buckeyes up by 8 points. They have a 3rd and 2 as we start the 4th quarter. Long count by Carsados. And the tailback, Woolridge, bangs in close to a first down. Now, this is how we started this afternoon. Rich Spangler kicked a 28-yard field goal, and the Buckeyes went up by 3. Then a safety, as Sonny Gordon blocked a punt out of the end zone, made it 5-0. The lead became 12-0 when John Woolridge exploded for 57 and the touchdown. Then Spangler added a second field goal. With time running out in the 2nd quarter, the Hawkeyes came back and got their touchdown on a 3-yard run by Ronnie Harmon. 15-7. And now, because they were short of the first down, Tom Tupa will be punting with Ronnie Harmon and Robert Smith set deep. 2 dangerous return men. And Tupa capable of putting it in the end zone. He hangs it high. Harmon wants the fair catch, fakes it, lets the ball bounce, and it goes out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. At the 13-yard line, Tom Tupa does his job. Now, this afternoon in Champaign, Michigan and Illinois tied at 3. So here is the significance of that. Take a look at the standings right now in the Big Ten. Michigan and Illinois 3-1-1. Iowa with the lead and they can keep that lead if they tie Ohio State. They're 8 points back. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A tie does not hurt the Hawkeyes that much as far as the Rose Bowl is concerned. It would affect other things. Long is back to throw. He has time to the sideline. Helverson, and Helverson springs free fumble at the 30-yard line. The officials go to the Buckeyes with the recovery. Fred Ritter, the left defensive tackle, was down at the bottom of that pile, and Hayden Fry quickly checks up at that clock.
And a great contact fumble. Here's a look at it from ground level. Long is right on target to Helverson. Helverson shakes the tackler. You'll see right here into your picture. Right there, Rogan misses. Now watch this contact by Terry White along with Sullivan, and the Buckeyes have recovered.
First and 10 for the Buckeyes. Ball is at the 31. And here's Cooper pounding ahead with the fullback, and he gets inside the 25-yard line. Now the clock beginning to run down. Buckeyes will use long counts. They'll take their time. They'll keep it on the ground. Cooper up over 100 yards. Now let me straighten out the fact that our graphics said Illinois was not eligible for the Rose Bowl. They certainly are. They're on probation until January 1st. And here is Woolridge inside the 20-yard line. And Jay Norvell makes the stop, and it's another Ohio State first down. And Cooper on the day is averaging 7 yards. Woolridge, who ran 57 for a touchdown, was shaken up. He is playing, of course, with a torn muscle in a rib cage. He is clutching over at that side. And that means the freshman Workman is in there. First down. Here comes Workman to the short side. The hole is there. Workman got down inside the 5-yard line.
Defense, take a look at Workman pop right through the hole. Maggs opens a beautiful hole right there. Workman finds it and comes all the way down to about the 5-yard line.
Now watch here as Workman came just so close from exploding and getting into the end zone. But Norvell delivered the first glancing blow that slowed him up. Now it is first and goal inside the 5. Workman stopped short at the 4-yard line. Reeves, number 57, and also Gear, 94, combined to bring him down.
Both linebackers firing in there. Excuse me, Brent. Both the linebackers stationed. Davis popping through there. They really rise to the occasion down around the goal line. They've really made it tough on the Buckeyes when they get inside that 10-yard line.
Here's Workman looking for a hole. Touchdown, Ohio State. Taste of why the Buckeyes are so tough to beat here in Columbus.
And also you can see the effect of a turnover. The fumble by Helverson giving Ohio State Buckeyes good field position. They finally capitalized it on it.
The extra point is good. They moved 31 yards in 5 plays.
The same little pitch play. It's well blocked by the entire left side. You see number 71 pulling, coming across. That's Maggs, the center, and stretching into the end zone, and you see the official signaling the touchdown.
The pressure is on the number 1 ranked Hawkeyes. We'll be right back. So it has been this kind of afternoon for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Just when Long hopes to get something going by hitting one of his favorite targets, Helverson, who has been virtually ignored here this afternoon in Columbus. A vicious blow is delivered by Sullivan. The ball pops free, and then as a result, the Buckeyes put another touchdown on the board.
You can see what happens to you when you have a turnover. Ohio State capitalized on it, marched the ball in 31 yards on the ground. Cooper, for the first time in his career, has 102 yards, and he was one of the big factors.
11 minutes and 39 seconds to go. And you can see how dearly Iowa has paid for its turnovers here this afternoon. Spangler to kick it off. Kevin Harmon and Quinn Early. So Ronnie Harmon's brother is back deep. And Kevin lets it bounce on out of the end zone. Went over his head, took a big hop. And on the touchback, it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
You know, Brent, I'm wondering whether or not Long was hurt. He only threw one pass in the third quarter, and it was incomplete. He did come out and complete the pass to Helverson. I wonder if his arm is bothering him, or they just decided to stay on the ground because of the defensive coverages.
Well, Errol, we're about to find out, because they'll have to go long here and try to get one quickly. Now, they leave Kevin Harmon in the game, number 28. And Chuck, no nonsense, no play fake, just dropped back. There's a penalty marker down. Interception. Oh, Rogan dropped the ball on that far side. And Errol, I think you're right about Chuck Long, because I believe that may be Vlasic. There's Long is back in the game now, but they wanted Vlasic to try something. Chuck Long brings the Hawkeyes up. Second down, dropping back. He hits Hudson. Hudson out to the 27-yard line. He's short of the first down. So for Chuck Long, he must rally the Hawkeyes here quickly. There's no play fakes going on right now. He is simply dropping right back and hoping he can spot somebody. His receivers were tied up, and off the move he went to Hudson. It was more or less a safety valve outlet before Sullivan brings him down.
You note that we still haven't seen him throw long yet. It's all been short passes.
Bill Happel will try it again. Here comes Kevin Harmon, breaks a tackle, first down, gets out to the 40 and out to the 45. Well, if Ronnie Harmon doesn't hit you with a big gain, Kevin Harmon will come after you.
Well, he's a dangerous runner. You see here from the end zone, from the Ohio State perspective, he waits for his blocking to form. Right there, 95 misses the tackle, which is Lee. He shakes another tackler. And before William White comes over, he gains a lot of yardage on that play before he's knocked down, but takes him out of poor field position.
22-7. 10-17. Long back again. Throwing down the sideline, this time incomplete. And there's a penalty marker down over by the 30-yard line.
I don't know, did they call on Eisenman, number 61? He was covering man on man, whether or not they called interference over there or not.
And the flag is down near the 30-yard line. And it's going against the Buckeyes.
Number 61, Derek Eisenman, was covering man on man. And apparently, let's see if we can tell right there on the coverage, see whether he pushes him or reaches out and grabs him. Well, I can't see it from that point. It must have happened earlier. Although he's throwing the flag right there.
Now, let's take a look at this from the end zone at a little bit earlier now and watch him. He had brushed up against him, and the official is already reaching his hand. He had already gone for the flag after the ball was falling down, so there was contact there on the side. 1st and 10, fumble, and recovered by the Hawkeyes, and they managed to gain about 3 yards. Long picked up the bobbled ball. Johnson on top of him there. 9:56 to go, and of course the key here now is for the Hawkeyes to get a quick touchdown. They send their speed into the game. Helverson leaves. Quinn Early and Smith check in. But that secondary of Ohio State has been sensational here this afternoon. Remember, a year ago they started 3 freshmen, and they are now sophomores out there in that secondary, and they are doing a job. William White, he is one of the sophomores. Terry White is sophomore, and Greg Rogan the other one. Long pulls out. Fake goes down, has an open man, complete inside the 20-yard line. It'll be another 1st down for the Hawkeyes as he hits Flagg as tight end.
He's been kind of quiet today. Mike Flagg, he's only caught, I think, 1 pass. This is a 20-yarder this time. He's a big guy, 6'6", 244 pounds, and it doesn't appear to be anything wrong with Long's arm right here as he delivers right on target as Rogan, 29, comes up and brings him down.
And with that completion, he just became the Big Ten career total offense leader. So Chuck Long, now at 9,155 yards, moves ahead of Mark Harmon and all the other great quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Long throwing, Helverson, and it's incomplete.
There's a flag on the field, and I think it's against Iowa. I don't know whether you'd want to take the down here, make it 2nd down from that position, or take the 5-yard penalty.
Nine minutes left here in the 4th quarter. And the Hawkeyes needing a touchdown to get back in this. They trail 22-7.
Helverson was open, too, in the end zone. I think the contact after the attempted reception, that's William White, number 37, trying to come back right there. It looks like a reception right here, and the ball comes out from Helverson right there as Terry White and William White make contact with him. There comes the ball out.
It'll be a 1st and 15 as a result of that penalty. And the ball is going to be put down at around the 22-yard line as they readjust the clock here in Columbus. That's why the play was stopped. So tomorrow on the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time, Eric Dickerson and Dan Marino. Look at those 2 stars and what a difference a year makes for them. And of course the grudge matchup in Green Bay. I'm sure the Bears are up in Green Bay now. Many of them probably watching this game, getting ready for tomorrow's confrontation against the Green Bay Packers, the angry Green Bay Packers. They had a bit of a confrontation in their locker room following last week's loss. We'll hear about that tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time. Here in Columbus, Ohio, I'm Brett Musburger along with Ara Parsigan. The unbeaten and top-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes are in trouble. They trail Ohio State 22-7, but they have advanced the ball inside the 25-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 15 coming up for Chuck Long, who just moments ago passed Mark Herman, and he is now the all-time total yardage leader in the Big Ten. But this has not been his best afternoon. Long is back, waiting, throws for the end zone, and Happel, incomplete, and the penalty flag is down. Thrown in the end zone. Greg Rogan on Happel, and he drew the interference call in the end zone, and the Hawkeyes stay alive.
The linebackers blitzed, both of them. It was picked up very nicely by the offensive line. He had man-to-man coverage on all the people, and it's awful tough when Long is working one-on-one with just any of his receivers. And you'll see here, throws it one-on-one right there. There's the interference, the contact, definitely without any question on Happel. Good call by the official.
And now the rain continues to come down harder here in Columbus. As you take a look at Rogan going in behind Happel, there was obvious contact. Two officials down with the flags right away. And the ball will be first and goal. They'll put it down at the 8-yard line. Now Ronnie Harmon, who scored their only touchdown, has been replaced in the backfield by his brother Kevin Harmon. So it'll be Chuck Long with Hudson and Kevin, and a chance for the Hawkeyes to get right back in it. Long will throw on first down, rolling to the right. He's got time and he's got a hole, throws it, incomplete. They rule that Helverson was out of bounds, and he's furious. They say he did not have control of the ball.
His feet were out of bounds. Just looking at it from here, had a pretty good shot of it. Looked like his feet were out of bounds. It was a good call by the official. We get an isolation right on Helverson right here. Number 87, covered right there by William White, 37. He turns out. Long throws the ball. He comes back up the field. Then he breaks to the outside to the sideline. I don't know whether they're going to be able to see the line here or not, but his feet right there are definitely out of bounds.
So an incomplete pass, and for the afternoon, Chuck Long is 13 of 25 for 128 yards, and he has those 3 costly interceptions. Now it is second and goal. And they run right straight ahead. Kevin Harmon down near the 2-yard line. So Ronnie's younger brother. I say, sorry, check that. That was Hudson, the fullback, coming through. That time getting down to the 2-yard line.
Just a straight handoff here. Good running. Look at him dive back to the inside and find that hole. Hudson really is a good football player. He's a real load. They can't bring him down.
He's made some big gains here this afternoon. Here's third and 2 now for the Hawkeyes, and Hudson will be the lone setback. They'll run Hudson. He dives over the top, and he's got the touchdown for Iowa. The Hawkeyes stay alive in Columbus. Now, he should probably go for 2 right now, Era.
Yes.
The first time, because if you fail here, you got to come back.
Yeah, he needs the 15 points. They have to go for the 2 points. Absolutely. Here's from the side as you see the offensive line fire out. Gives the ball. Watch him dive over the pile. Unfortunately, with all the glaze of the water there, you can't see the line, but he definitely is in the end zone for the touchdown. 13 points now. They will go for the 2 to try to make it 15.
Up over the top. And a lot of time left here in Iowa City. We've got 8 minutes and 19 seconds. 22 to 13.
Generally, you come into a ball game and you've already decided what you want to do on your 2-point play. They've rehearsed this during the week. Let's see whether it's a pass, run, or option.
From the power eye, Bush in motion.
Option.
Long options. Here's Kevin. Kevin cannot get there. He is stopped by Sonny Gordon, number 7. So the young man who blocked the punt for a safety in the first half.
And that is a big,
saving tackle.
Big play on this. They did try to run the option away from the motion man. You can see Kummerow forces him to throw the ball, and the option is not there as Rogan comes in and stops it short. And that's a big play because it's going to require 2 scores to get ahead of the Buckeyes.
And we'll be right back for the final 8:19 in just a moment. Era, the tackle that mattered.
Well defensed here. As you see, Kummerow will come in and force the pitch by Long. William White will come up and take the pitch man, and the alley man will be Rogan, will come right in the alley here and make the tackle. Let's take a look at how it was done. Beautiful defense against the option. Kummerow, 14, forces the pitch. William White, 37, comes in, And Sonny Gordon, excuse me, I said Rogan, number 7, Sonny Gordon, right there making the play. A beautiful job, and I suppose playing the Minnesota option last week really helped him.
Oh, I think it sure did. Foggy gave him that look all game long, and it's 22-13. With the rain continuing to come down hard here in Columbus. 8 minutes and 19 seconds to go.
You can see Ohio State is deploying right now for the anticipation of an onside kick.
Cook tees it up.
Let's go.
It'll be down for a touchback, and Ohio State will come up and put it down 1st and 10. I think the Buckeyes are working on one of the most remarkable offensive statistics in the country right now. Here we are, almost 8 full games in. They have not lost a fumble yet this year. Now they're really going to be tested with this rain coming down, and the Hawkeyes will be clutching and grabbing at that ball on almost every down. But they have not lost a single fumble, and that's unbelievable for a college team or any football team at this point in the season.
Really is. That's an incredible statistic.
On 1st down, Cooper bangs straight ahead for 2 or 3 yards. Iowa wants badly to have 3 downs and out here if they can press a punt by Ohio State. The play's coming in from the sideline. Hutchison, a tight end, 81, delivers it to the huddle.
And Ohio State would like to bleed a lot of the time off the clock, just under 7 minutes, or 8 minutes right now. They'll take their time. They'd like to punch out some 1st downs here and not give Iowa the opportunities. But you got to bear in mind also that Iowa needs 2 scores to win.
Workman is the tailback era. He's going to come. He cuts back. And that's going to leave them with about a 3rd and 6 as Larry Station made the stop.
Tackled by Larry Station and Jeff Rust.
Larry Station, the All American linebacker who was also an honor student back in Iowa City. In fact, if you go watch the Hawkeyes practice, sometimes you will ask the coach, Hayden Fry, where is Station, coach? He's at lab. He has classes that extend far into the afternoon. The young man who knows that there has to be a life after football.
How about that little sprint draw here?
There it is. Workman trying to come free, and Nate Creer would not let him.
Good defense by Iowa. They're going to force a punting situation here by Tupa. Be interesting to see whether or not Iowa goes after the block here, or whether or not they're going to try to deploy with a return. I think they'll go after Tupa on the block. You can see here Workman trying to, on a little misdirection play, fairly well blocked. He comes through the hole, but you see Greer coming in here and stopping the play well short of the 1st down. Let's watch Iowa here to see if they come for the block.
Tupa gets it off. Robert Smith fields it at the 28. Looks for daylight, but that specialty team coverage of the Buckeyes has been sensational all game long. There is a penalty flag down. We'll wait and see what that is. That was a 47-yard Tupa punt and a 3-yard Smith return. And the ball would be put down. Inadvertent flag, we are told, fell on the field. So we've got a timeout. The ball will be spotted there on the 31-yard line. 10 seconds to go, and that Ohio State defense has done a very good job today against Iowa's leading receivers.
2 leading receivers are Happel and Helverson. They've held Happel to 2 receptions, Helverson to 1, and the one that Helverson got, he fumbled, and the Buckeyes recovered and converted to a score.
Long to throw on 1st down. Forced out of the pocket. Now he comes back with the completed pass, and Kevin Harmon getting out near the 39-yard line. Chris Spielman over there as you take a look at some of the other action from around the country this afternoon. There's the Pac-10. We are told from the field that Ronnie Harmon is not injured. I'm surprised by that report, because if he's not injured, I'm fully expecting him to be in, especially on the 2-point play. Now, his last appearance here this afternoon was on that 4th and 1 when he jumped up and was caught short. Now his younger brother is on the field, and Bush is the fullback, set in front of him. Off a fake, long to throw, goes down the middle for Robert Smith, and incomplete. Quinn Early was there too, number 1.
The pass intended for number 1, Quinn Early.
Terry White has been all over the field. The free safety, number 12, he was there to knock the ball down again. Take a look at it from the end zone. You'll watch the deep throw here by Long, and you'll see Terry White come in front of Smith right there and knock the ball down. And Terry White has had quite an afternoon.
5:51. On 3rd down, complete for the 1st down to midfield.
The pass is complete to number 87, Scott Helverson.
So Helverson, with only his 2nd catch of the day for 12 yards, has the 1st down.
Let's take another look. You'll see Helverson come from the middle of your screen and then back across the middle. Right here as it's cleared out by Flag. Great catch right there. And he's really hit by Rogan, number 29. But it's a 1st down with 5:35 left to go in the ball game.
The ball is at midfield. Hawkeyes, remember, need 2 scores, a touchdown and a field goal. Long with time, comes to the sideline, complete again. Out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
The pass is complete to number 86, Mike Flag.
So Flag, the tight end, with another 13-yard gain before Rogan got him out of bounds.
That's the good thing. They got out of bounds and stopped the clock. They just make a run action in here. Long finds Flag over on the right side. He has plenty of time. There's very little pressure on him here. You'll see Flag get the ball and get out of bounds and stop the clock, and that's what they need to do.
Kevin Harmon up the middle. Got to the 31-yard line.
Kevin Harmon was the ball carrier. Tackled by Ray.
How the top 10 teams made out today. Bo Jackson, injured thigh, did not play in the 2nd half of that game. Penn State rallied to win. Michigan and Illinois tied in Champaign. And Nebraska rolled. Air Force an easy winner. Likewise Oklahoma. But here, the top team in the country, the Hawkeyes of Iowa, struggling. 2nd and 5. He completes it to Robert Smith. Down to the 23-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawkeyes. 4:35 on the clock.
Doing a lot of the underneath patterns. That's Robert Smith, number 2, that came to the middle. Little short passes, but they needed the 1st down here to stop the clock as they move the chains. You see right here, Robert Smith comes across the middle, stops, turns, and goes back the other way, picks up some additional yardage. It's a clever little guy. That's number 14 that comes in there. Looking ahead, Brent, there's 2 timeouts left by Iowa. They have 2 timeouts left.
Kevin Harmon is caught that time. Pepper Rogers stepped right in there.
Pepper Johnson, number 98, 250 some odd pounds, and can really move. He filled the hole well that time.
We'll make Pepper Rogers an All-American yet before this year is over.
Yeah. He's happy to get all the advertising.
That's right. 2nd down and 12. Long back. Incomplete and out of bounds. Helverson, the intended receiver.
Number 87, Scott Helverson, pass incomplete. Greg Rogan and Terry White defending.
It's 3rd and 12 here, Aaron. They certainly have got to be thinking for the touchdown, and Hayden unhappy with how things have gone here this afternoon.
Well, he something that he doesn't like. You can see he's really upset, whether it's somebody that ran the wrong route on the play, But they've got 2 downs to make it, not just 1.
Open is early,
Oh,
and he had it, but White hammered him. Terry White just leaned into him inside the 5-yard line.
And he saved the touchdown with that hit, because that was going to be a score for Iowa.
The big play man in that secondary for the Buckeyes, number 12, Terry White. Quinn Early has the ball inside the 5, and he is hit immediately by White, who was shaken up as he delivered that blow. And he is down, and that gives us an opportunity to take a break here in Columbus. 3:33 to go. It'll be 4th down and time running out for Iowa.
Maryland stormed back to take a thriller from Miami. See their rematch for Washington against Arizona State next Saturday on CBS Sports.
3:33 to go, and Iowa needing 2 scores. So they have elected here to try for the field goal with Rob Houtland.
And we can expect an onside kick, particularly if they make, whether they make it or not, I would think they'll go for the onside kick. They have 2 timeouts left, though. Be about a 42-yarder.
Kick is on its way by Houtland. No good. Fame is such a fleeting thing. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were all honoring Rob Houtland when he kicked the field goal that beat Michigan. Here this afternoon, when the Hawkeyes need a field goal and then another touchdown, he misfires at a critical juncture.
Well, they needed that one badly with 3:28 left to go.
Now they'll work away at the clock. Cooper wrapped up by Jeff Drost.
Let's see when Iowa selects to use the 2 timeouts that they have left.
Jeff Drost.
Buckeyes bringing the clock down.
I think that if they stop the Buckeyes on this next play, they'll use the timeouts at this point to try to conserve what is left on that clock.
Workman straight ahead, and it'll go to 3rd down. George Davis, the tackler.
They're taking one of the timeouts now.
Play by George Davis. Timeout, Iowa.
And while they take a break, so will we. We'll be right back in Columbus.
We may be the back of the future. We may start a new trend in football.
And up to Perry, crosses the right side of the line. Touchdown!
The Bears against the Packers tomorrow on CBS Sports.
Well, the Seminoles are tough in Tallahassee, and they lead Miami 24-21. And Maryland defeated North Carolina 28-10. And next Saturday afternoon on CBS, it'll be the Hurricanes of Miami against Maryland, 3:30 Eastern Time. Vinny Testaverde, the Miami quarterback, attempting to rally the Hurricanes this afternoon, and we'll see him in action next Saturday. Here we've got 2:37, a 3rd and 8, and Iowa badly needs the ball and a real quick touchdown. Carsados runs the draw. Workman is wrapped up, and now Tupa will punt. And Arrow, would you go for the block here?
I think I would, because they need 2 scores. They only have 2:24-23 left. They could get a quick score with the block, and they did come close earlier in the ball game when they attempted the block. They're going to have 10 men up on the line of scrimmage.
Robert Smith is set to return it.
Coming up the middle.
That's where the overload is. Long count, not drawing anybody.
Bleeding the time off the clock. They didn't take the time out.
And the flag goes down as the time runs out.
Ohio penalty.
Well, now we get confirmation of what I thought all along, that Ronnie Harmon was indeed injured. And it was a bruised ankle, we are told from the Iowa bench. Ronnie says that he can play, but Coach Fry said, I'm not taking any chances. And so he has elected to leave him on the sideline the rest of the way. So Harmon falls, and Keith Byers out with an injury, and here they come again, Aaron.
You saw Hayden checking his game plan, offensive game plan, preparing for the next drive here. Good blocking.
Here's Smith, the 35. What great kick coverage the Buckeyes have had here this afternoon. There's been no daylight on kickoffs or punts. A 45-yard punt and only a 3-yard return as Tupa hangs another one high.
And Mike Sullivan.
Boy, what a pickup he'll be someday for a National Football League team.
Looked like they picked up all the rushers right here, and no one got close to the punter. Good blocking. Norvell was going right up the middle, number 45.
I said to somebody, Era, that I have never seen a team practice the kicking game as much as Ohio State did in the 2 days that I went to their practices. They have stressed it over and over and over, and it has turned out so well for them here this afternoon. Now Long, with time running out, throws incomplete. He wanted Helberson again. Sullivan had dropped back, and so had Chris Spielman on pass coverage.
They need a big play. Helberson, number 87, just drives off. He has plenty of cushion here. As Rogan drops off, he doesn't want to give him anything cheap, but he does recover well. Ball's thrown wide of him.
Second and 10, down to a minute and a half. Those 3 interceptions came in the first half, and they proved so critical as far as this game was concerned. Long's pass intercepted, number 4. Coming over and out of bounds is Chris Spielman, who puts a capper on it here in Columbus. The Hawkeyes are unbeaten no longer.
Well, you got to take your hat off to that Ohio State defense. That was the key in this ball game. You can see Hayden Fry really upset. He was wide open. He said somebody was wide open. Threw to the wrong man, apparently. Watch Spielman, number 36. Long has plenty of time. Throws the ball right at us practically. And you see Spielman right there. He was trying to hit Bobby Smith, number 1. And Spielman comes up with the play. What a defensive performance the Buckeyes have put on here. This is the football team that gave Purdue and Everett 500 yards. Everybody thought that they were not a very good defensive team. Pretty good offensive team, but boy, what a performance this has been by their defense.
Whistle sound as Caisados went down, and Ohio State will be content to let it run out. Their defense is... He formerly played football and coached at Connecticut. This is his second year in here, and he told us what he hoped to do more than anything in the world was to throw Chuck Long off his rhythm early in the game. And they were able to do just that. And the Buckeyes have won their 20th straight game in Columbus. You remember at the top of the day when Hayden Fry said he walked his team around to pay honor to all those who have been buried here? Well, there's one more burial going on in Columbus right now.
And when you knock off the number 1 team, I'll tell you there has to be a lot of jubilation. A lot of feeling. They came in here really pumped up. And number 12 right there, Terry White. What a game he played.
So the celebration is underway in Columbus. We've got 30 minutes on the clock, and we'll be right back. The final 30 seconds. Here's how the standings will look tomorrow morning when you pick up your morning paper and read about this one. Ohio State and Iowa will be tied at the top, but remember the Buckeyes have beaten Iowa. So in head-to-head, that is a major consideration when they pick the Rose Bowl team here. And, of course, Illinois not only eligible for the Rose Bowl, but all bowl games at the end of the season. They tied Michigan this afternoon at 3. And the faces will tell you the story of this afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need your cooperation for the safety of all consumers. Please.
The final seconds tick away in Columbus. Ohio State has done it again. And Iowa must regroup next week. They were number 1 for 5 straight weeks. And they have finally fallen. And the Buckeyes come up a winner. They're celebrating like they just won the national championship, Coach. Didn't take long for that goalpost to go.
Well, I'll tell you, when you knock off the number 1 team, you have to be doggone proud because it's no easy chore. They beat a heck of a football team.
Now, our Chevrolet most valuable players of this game are, for Ohio State, their hard-hitting free safety, Terry White. And for Iowa, their durable fullback, David Hudson, who gave it all he had. And the check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each college's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. Errol, what do you think the story of the day was?
In my opinion, it was the Ohio State Buckeye defense. 4 interceptions. That's very difficult for any team to overcome. I think they camouflaged their coverages. They changed it. A team that had yielded much yardage to other passing teams absolutely did a sensational job here. In particular, Terry White, who has won the Chevrolet Award, was outstanding along with the rest of the Buckeyes. They played an outstanding football game.
Well, tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern Time, be with us for the NFL Today. That starts it. We'll hear from Big John Madden live. He's covering one of the games that we'll show you regionally. Many of you will see the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the New York Giants. Detroit against Minnesota. Washington will take on Atlanta. Then later, it's the Saints and the Rams, the Eagles in San Francisco. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
This is CBS.